And like a red, white, and blue phoenix rising from the ashes of political bipartisanship, we are back! And this is Salt Streets Podcast.
This is Saturday, September 15th, 2:05 p.m., episode 31.
Welcome back, everybody, to the Salt Streets Podcast, your one and only source for social and political commentary on weekly news, pop culture, and sports built from the ground up for people like you and me, the everyday normal person. Join us as we discuss life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness, and continue our endless efforts to bridge the gap between people and information. As always, we are your hosts. I'm Colin.
I'm Donovan.
Smoking it up over here. Well, this coming up on this week's show, we got part 2 of our Judge Kavanaugh's Supreme Court hearing.
Yes.
Our discussion topics on that. And I think with this one, we're just going to finish it because it's kind of a draining. Yeah. We're just going to.
It might be a little bit short because fuck am I tired of this bitch.
Yeah. And I think we
got plenty of other shit going on.
Yeah. I'm just trying to say, don't feel bad. I think everyone else is pretty much tired of this shit too. But after that, we're going to be doing, we're going to be talking about the latest and kind of some background information coming out of the Catholic Church scandal, the sex abuse scandal. We told you guys last week to watch Spotlight if you're interested, and we're going to talk about Spotlight.
Watch Spotlight.
Because it's a great movie.
If you haven't, fucking pause this right now, go and watch Spotlight, and then come back here and listen to the rest of this.
Dude, Michael Keaton,
you'll understand.
Rachel McAdams,
and
Mark the Hulk Ruffalo?
Yes.
Yeah, no, it was a great movie.
Yep.
But we'll talk about that later. And
Liev Schreiber.
And yes.
As Marty Barron.
That's right.
He's the editor of the Washington Post now.
Oh, he is?
Yes.
Say what?
Yep.
That's dope.
There you go. Back in the
I
day.
forgot. That's. I think I might have told you that before, but he is my wife knows his sister-in-law.
Liev Schreiber?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Weird.
She's local.
The world is.
We'll talk
too
after
small.
the cast. But yeah, I totally forgot that was him.
Yeah.
He doesn't. He's not. It's not his stereotypical role.
He does a good job.
He was great in that movie. But anyways, we'll talk about that later. And of course, we're going to have a lot of discussion around Larry Sharpe, the guy that was on Joe Rogan's podcast a week or two ago. He's the Libertarian candidate in the gubernatorial race. I had to work in gubernatorial in New York State. World. But it's a really interesting topic. He's a libertarian, and actually one of the I think most, I don't know, sane is a different word, but he's the most sane libertarian candidate I've seen. And we'll talk all about that. Yeah. If we have some time, we're going to hit on Elon Musk, Neil deGrasse Tyson. They were both on Rogan over the last couple of weeks, and it's just fun to talk about some of the discussion topics they talk about. So we'll have some fun with that. But of course, before we dive into the heavy stuff, just a reminder to take a second to rate the show on whatever platform you're listening to on right now, whether it's SoundCloud, Stitcher, iTunes, Apple Podcasts. If you like what we're doing and you want to help us out, all you got to do is give us a rating and a review. It would greatly help us out, and we'd love you forever. Follow us on Instagram at Salt of the Streets, Facebook at Salt of the Streets. Check out our weekly blogs and all of our content over at saltofthestreets.com. Check out our YouTube page where we post all of our videos just search Salt of the Streets on YouTube.
Everywhere.
Follow us on our personal Instagrams and our Twitters. I am at Big Bird Offie on both Twitters and the Instagrams.
And I am at Salt of the Street on Twitter and alpaca_Donovan on Instagram.
Beautiful.
And then Salt of the Streets on Instagram, because we have one of those too. I don't know if we said that already.
Yeah. I got us covered, bro.
I'm sure you do.
It's all in there.
I'm sure you do. You treat me so good.
Well, as Louder with Crowder would say, since we have fulfilled our legal obligations, shall we just tear into this thing?
Yes. Which one do you want to talk about?
I want to talk about Kavanaugh, so we could. Right. It's one of those. Let's just do it and get it over with.
Done.
So done with Kavanaugh.
Yeah. All right. So
you watched and listened to a great deal more than I did. Again, of course.
I did my best to watch as much of the 12 hours as I could.
It's a long time. So. Especially the way he talks.
Yes.
We talked about before the cast, but at least when it was the Gorsuch hearings, he's a very articulate orient. he's not a terrible person to listen to talking, and Brett Kavanaugh is not that way.
Yes.
It's been rough. It's like sandpaper.
So one of the first things that we should talk about, a lot of the mainstream media will be spinning the fact that he didn't answer a lot of these questions, right?
Yes.
One thing that's important to remember is that, whether or not we love it, right? It's been set down as what he's calling and what most people call now nominee precedent, where they don't answer questions about how they would rule on a particular case or how they would rule in like a hypothetical situation.
Yeah.
It's something that everybody sitting on the Supreme Court right now has currently done. None of them have answered questions about, like I said, about anything like that.
It's the so-called Ginsburg rule.
Yes.
It's been floated around a lot. So if you've heard about the Ginsburg rule, that's what we are referring to as I drop my phone.
Easy.
Perfect catch, though.
Yeah. So that shouldn't be spun, right? Because again, whether or not we like that, because it eventually became very irritating to me.
Yeah.
That is how it is. And so that's not something that should be spun any other way other than that is how every Supreme Court justice from now probably until the end of time will be answering these questions. That's a Ducks touchdown. It's no big deal. So, like I said, that shouldn't be spun any type of way. That was brought up immediately as soon as Chuck Grassley, right? He's the chairman. He's the first person to ask questions on the second day, because the second day was 30 minutes of questioning for each senator. That's 20 senators that all get 30 minutes apiece to ask questions
with breaks in between.
Yeah, breaks in between.
Ones.
They all go over by a few minutes. It's a whole, because Chuck Grassley's pretty liberal with the timing in the committee. So he brought it up immediately that's something that shouldn't be confused, and that it would be inappropriate for him to answer any other way, which
you love it.
I can and cannot understand, right? In the way that I understand that to try and be completely impartial, that is like, what they should do. But I also think just because of my view of the world, that for them to try and express complete impartiality on every single one of these issues, I think is almost unreasonable, but
you understand it.
Yes.
Yeah.
I do understand it.
It's frustrating, but understand that is impartiality and unbiased, is the best way that you can have a Supreme Court judge. Even though realistically, we all know that there's no perfectly impartial person. And
right.
I think to try to muddy the waters up enough, as these senators do these days and these committees, I think it does a huge disservice to the justice system, the Justice Department, just that entire judicial branch of government, because you're trying to paint these judges who are supposed to be impartial as anything but. And I think deep down there's some truth to that, because nobody is unbiased. But should we judge him on whatever his personal biases are, or should you just literally examine the record and make your judgment from there? Ask him about the cases, maybe.
Well, the problem that I had that I ended up having with this, right, was that there was like a bunch of, not to harp on the documents, right, but because there's only a certain like small portion that I really think like there's a problem with, right, and that's the documents that aren't being shown to any of the senators based on like some type of Senator Whitehouse went over this like pretty
in
well,
depth,
right? That they were
opening of the second day, I think.
He is, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So he's like a little less than halfway through. Sorry, Jordan's finally off work. She's supposed to be off at 1, so she's about to make.
Woo.
Yeah. So they were busy as shit.
Yeah.
My wife works at the little store that's in this town. So anyway. So Senator Whitehouse went over this, that there's a bunch of documents that not even the senators were able to see fully because they were under, let's see, they said constitutional privilege over, right? And there was a bunch of shit that's redacted out of there, that's blacked out, that the senators can't see. But nobody ever told them that they were asserting any type of executive privilege, right?
Yeah.
Because that's exactly what that be. I mean, constitutional privilege is just another word for executive privilege, where the president gets to decide, you know, that, well, I don't want anybody to see this because of executive privilege. You know,
Yeah.
I'm asserting that that's something constitutionally he's allowed to do, right? But so they're saying under President Bush, because that's whose documents these are, that's, you know, they're under constitutional privilege. And so Senator Whitehouse is like, well,
we mentioned that, I think, last week.
yes.
Yeah.
Because I'm sure that Senator Whitehouse talked about it, and now he talked about it more again this week.
Drilling it at home.
Yes. And so he was questioning, Senator Whitehouse said specifically, so I don't know if I agree with this, right? But he said, don't privileges have to be asserted? And I think that in this instance, I might agree with that. With something like executive privilege, you would have to say, you know, that this is like...
I mean, we've heard hearings before where people claim executive privilege without actually the president claiming it.
Right.
They just reserve the right for him to claim it on that.
Yes.
Even though he didn't, I bet he would, so I'm not going to say that.
He would. And so Senator Whitehouse questioned that, and Kavanaugh said, well, I don't think I've ever seen anybody assert it formally without like having been served some type of subpoena. And Senator Whitehouse said, well, I've been unable to get a subpoena through this committee. Like, no one will issue me a subpoena to try and get these documents. So I can't get any type of, like, you know, I don't know. Again, I don't know whether or not that's true because I haven't seen the processes, but I don't know why he would go in there and lie about that. You know, he said he's unable to get,
That's weird.
Yeah.
Unable to get a subpoena. That's
know.
probably why they look at it as a constitutional privilege versus executive privilege. Executive is somebody. Constitutional may just be somewhere in there, just protects former presidents from that, maybe. I'm just guessing, but I can see that.
He was making it sound like it was executive privilege, and that's just when somebody asserts that privilege, that's what it says on documents as constitutional privilege. Oh. So that's just like the government word for it on the documents is constitutional privilege.
Gotcha.
So, like I said, I don't know what the processes are to get a subpoena, so I don't know if maybe you have to have a certain amount of votes in the committee to like for them to issue that subpoena, and maybe that's why he couldn't do it. You know, I don't know what the process is for that. Yeah. So I can try and look that up, fact check.
Maybe I feel like that's a deep dive.
So
but that's another one of the problems with these hearings is we don't know the complex rules of the Senate parliamentarian procedure,
the legislative body that covers, that governs this country.
Yeah,
there's so many rules.
It runs fucking deep. Yeah. And I'm bet, without looking into it, but I bet a lot of the rules have been there since the founding. So I bet you there's some weird old school shit, I wouldn't doubt it. Yeah, I wouldn't doubt that that's kind of might be one of the roadblocks, maybe.
Yes.
But who knows?
So let's see. Oh, I have some stuff on my phone too.
I wrote down the quotes from because I told you, I think at the pre-show or before, about watching that YouTube clip of every C-SPAN recording of a Supreme Court nominee's hearing and them quoting the Ginsburg rule all the way down. It was interesting, but I took every one of their quotes. Have you ever heard the first official Ginsburg quote? Like what she actually said?
No, I've not listened to it myself.
You want to hear it?
Yeah.
Okay. She says, and she kind of speaks a little interesting. I don't know if you ever heard her speak. But she says, were I to rehearse here what I would say and how I would reason on such questions, I would act injudiciously. I pronounced that wrong, but I'm going to keep going.
Judiciously.
Injudiciously. Boom. A judge sworn to decide impartially can offer no forecasts, no hints, for that would show not only disregard for the specifics of the particular case, it would display disdain for the entire judicial process. End quote.
Well, and that makes sense.
Yeah.
I understand that, but
so that's just a little background.
Yeah.
On that.
No, I dig that. He got asked. I mean, Senator Feinstein asked him about.
There were some good questions asked. I will say that.
Yes.
Not all of them were just people trying to ask him questions that they know he can't answer.
No. Like, one of the things that he has said and Feinstein tried to grill him about was he wrote in one of his opinions that any gun law is unconstitutional. Which I don't know. I would have to.
I'm not a constitutional lawyer.
No, I'm not even anywhere near smart enough to make that distinction. But I do understand that is a very unpopular opinion throughout the legal community that any gun law is unconstitutional. Specifically through, I mean, the people who are interpreting the Constitution. That seems like a scary thing to be going through there. And there was some argument between those, not argument, but debate between the two of them, Feinstein and Kavanaugh, about the meaning of common use, right? Because
of the assault rifle.
Because of the assault rifle ban. And so Kavanaugh was interpreting common use as common ownership, right? Like common possession. And Feinstein was arguing that didn't make sense. Said common use means common use. That's an active. It's a verb. Using something is that's an action word.
But in legalese, is it the same?
And I don't know. And I think that Feinstein was a lawyer, right? Is that
a lot of those people used to be lawyers,
right? So
technically lawyers.
Again, that's I'm not a lawyer, so I don't know. I can't interpret that, but it can obviously be interpreted either way. But I heard from several of those people, I think that that a lot of his views are, not a lot, but some of his views are unpopular throughout the legal community. Other ones are super popular and have been used even in the Supreme Court. That is a thing that has happened. But there's some stuff like this Second Amendment thing that a lot of people
it comes
don't
up.
make sense.
Judge Sotomayor, I think, I'm not going to remember exactly what she said, but it was during this latest round of Supreme Court case hearings, and she had put out an opinion on something that it was a dissenting opinion from the majority, which means, because I'm not happy with what she said, it was my side that won, I guess, if you want to phrase it that way. But I remember reading her opinion, and I think Ben Shapiro might have said something about it, but what she said in her dissent was, it just seemed completely against a normal person's understanding if you read that part of the Constitution. At least that's the way I would have seen it. And so it kind of really questioned my, her rulings in my mind. I said, well, this seems like a pretty easily clean-cut case, but you're going to cut against it. And so I can understand how somebody with even a good track record could put out a bad opinion like that. Yeah. So I can understand that. But there's, even from the little that I've heard, I am still pretty sus on some of his decisions. Yeah. That doesn't surprise me. Getting caught up on a word like that, that's kind of what I have one here that Dick Durbin had brought up. We'll talk a little later, but I got kind of the same feeling. I'm I don't know if I really like you say you're a textualist, but that's when I think of myself. I think of myself as a textualist. I don't get that same understanding from that seemingly simple set of words. Yeah. But I could be wrong too, but who knows?
Another thing that he got grilled about was by Senator Leahy.
Oh, yeah. Leahy always brings in the heat.
Okay, so before I move on to this, right, this was the first time I've ever thought this, right? Because generally, and maybe it was because I was getting so bored with this, so I'll have to ask me again next week.
And it's sad because right? To put context, we love these types of hearings. Yes. But it was not a good one. It was not enjoyable because there were so many breakdowns in the system. What happened to the ducks, bro? I just saw your eyes light up.
That's another teeter from deep.
Well,
that was
they're still playing those low end teams?
Yeah. Next week is the first ranked team. Play Stanford next week.
Okay, so then we'll really see what's up.
They're ranked 9, yeah. But I heard right before we started this that they're averaging 60 points a game. We'll see, and that's the 3rd most in the country.
That's crazy.
Yeah, that was a deep ass tight end touchdown. That was balling. So,
anyways,
yeah. So this is the first time that I've ever thought this, right? And again, like I said, maybe it might be because I was getting bored, but I feel like a lot of those people are too old. And it was maybe when I saw a video of just like 10 years ago, I think, Senator Leahy questioning Kavanaugh again for some other position.
Yeah.
And just the difference between him then and him now, it's like, this is not good. Like, and it just, how, I don't know,
somebody
the way
might need to retire maybe?
Now I remember. So Chuck Grassley, right? If he's not reading off a piece of paper, it's almost incoherent. Like, the things that he's saying don't make sense, right? The print on Orrin Hatch's copy is fucking this big. It's like a 42 size font. So his speeches are 15 pages for him to talk for 7 minutes. Like, you know what I'm saying? Shit like that just isn't, that reads as not good to me. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying?
Because you shouldn't necessarily need the script for one.
No. Because if you can't have a conversation like that in a hearing, then
what are we doing here?
What are you fucking doing? You know what I'm saying? Like, what are you actually doing? How am I supposed to have faith? And I'm glad that he's not my senator, because that would scare the shit out of me. That's. Well, I don't know.
You could maybe say the same about one of our senators for sure. I don't want to just shit on Patty Murray, but if you search for her anywhere, you look at her Twitter or something like that, she don't look like that anymore.
No.
She's aged pretty quickly.
It's a nice picture.
Yeah. No, she looks. It's probably. I mean, it was probably taken back when she first got into office or something like that, and first became a senator. But I mean, and I'm not gonna. Like I said, I'm not talking shit.
We're not judging.
This does happen to people who make a life in politics.
Yeah.
Look at the fucking president, man.
Oh my god.
Jeez, every single president, man. Looks like they had 30 years of life sucked out of them in 8.
Yeah.
Anyways, sorry, I digress again. Is it just is there other things other than like the giant font and, them just not being able to have a coherent conversation?
No.
Anything else kind of stand out?
Things that I'm thinking of right now. Mm-hmm. And those are the things that really started to just make me feel like this is, I don't know.
Did you get that feeling during the Facebook hearing? Because that's when I got it.
Yeah,
I said, this is bad.
Definitely then. But maybe not this exact same thing. I think I just thought then, like, these people are too old to be asking these questions,
Mm-hmm.
Maybe I just thought that other people should have been doing it,
Yeah.
And now I'm at the point where, like, maybe they just were too old to be, like, at that point,
I mean, it's not a legitimate thing to say, man.
Right.
Sometimes, especially with the rate of technological change and just societal change in general, it's happening exponentially faster than it ever used to happen before.
Right.
You need to understand that. Otherwise, you're not representing the reality of who you're supposed to represent. Yeah, I mean, I don't ask Chuck Grassley if he'd explain how Facebook works to me. It's not gonna happen.
Yeah.
Even in any coherent fashion. And so I don't think it's wrong to kind of think that, because you think about leaders of the free world, they should probably have their shit together. Mind you, they have a lot of political experience and how things run in the government. So it's a double-edged sword.
And that's the stuff that I really, like I said, up until this point, I had not really thought that, because that's how I consider it. Like, you're old because you have been fucking balling out doing the shit that you were a lawyer, and then you're like, I'm going to run for Senate. I'm going to be a representative, and then I'm going to be a senator, and I'm going to fucking change shit, because I'm going to use my life experience to do this. And I know, those people that have been through like 2-3 different wars, that's the type of shit that you need around. That maybe I'm just starting to think that maybe the Senate is not the right place, but advisors to the Senate, that's maybe the right place.
That could be. Yeah.
That keep your clearance so you can still stay intact as long as you're not leaking fucking secrets, and So you
But
can
at
do
that
your
point-
doing and advise senators that are a little bit younger and can like handle a little more shit at one time without having to have their aides behind them continually hand them pieces of paper. You know, I don't know. That just seemed weird that they're like they're writing shit for him right there.
I think
and then
it can
handing
go
it to him for him to read.
Yeah, and that's the way these things have gone for a long time. And I don't know, because I don't know. A part of me goes and like, what are you actually doing? Are you just a figurehead of
what I'm saying?
Assistants?
It alarmed me a little bit.
How much? And I can understand anybody that's doing that job needs those assistants, I'm sure, because let's just face it, it's a huge fucking country. You have a huge state to represent, full of fucking people that all have issues to deal with.
Yeah.
It's all too much for anybody to handle.
Right.
I don't know how this shit's supposed to work anymore, but you at least have to be able to attempt to do as much as you can. And I don't think a lot of those people can do very much.
No.
Much less want to do very much. But that's a whole nother topic altogether. But
so that was just before I move on to Leahy. That was a problem that I felt myself running into this week. But Leahy grilled Kavanaugh about emails, right? Because Senator Leahy,
I'm trying to remember,
implied that when Kavanaugh worked in the White House, he had knowledge. Manuel Miranda, do you know this person's name, right? He was a Republican staffer that stole documents from Democrats and were like released them and did all this stuff, right?
Nice.
So I have to do more research into that because that was before my time of politics. But Senator Leahy claims that Kavanaugh had knowledge of emails that were stolen from Leahy that were classified, that were memos that were not put out yet. Yes. And he didn't say anything about it. And so Leahy's all kinds of pissed off, and Kavanaugh's like, I've never heard anything about that. I have no idea. So that's something. But again, I don't know why Senator Leahy would come out here and lie about that. There's some other people that I could see maybe that they're, like blowing some smoke, but like there's the older people. I'm like, this guy's, he's not wasting his time. He's not up here for 30 minutes fucking around. Right. So that was something I also thought which I also had a hard time because Kavanaugh has been involved within the government and stuff for so long. There is so much that I'm like, well, how much do we have to take this into consideration? Because you have to consider someone's capability to change, There's some stuff that doesn't, that is like really core values, but that changes within each person. Like everybody's value, it's the Jordan Peterson thing, everybody's value set is completely different, So like it's the thing that is the most important to me is not going to be the same that's most important to Brett Kavanaugh. And that's going to vastly change the things that are able to change for us within our lives, So you're talking about something that changed, or that an opinion he had 20 years ago, that he may or may not even be able to say how he feels about it now. And we have to try and judge his impartiality based on that, So it's hard.
That's a tough one. Yeah.
It's
because that's a good point.
You know what I'm saying? So it just was difficult.
Yeah.
I found.
I can see that being a problem because that's the thing. If we're like, well, okay, do we let this guy in or not? There can always be a not.
Right.
We can always be a not. If it's stuff that, maybe he doesn't, he can't voice his views on that particular issue now because he's sitting in the hot seat and he doesn't, he's doing the Ginsburg rule. And it's unfortunate, but even if his mind had changed since then and it would have a much better answer, maybe he can't say it. In which case, tough shit, but we're judging you by your track record here and we don't like your track record. So you may be perfectly great human being now, but we just can't risk it for this lifetime appointment. And move on.
And I think that's why
we weren't playing partisan politics, that would matter.
And I think that's why maybe for some of the Democratic senators, the emails that like from his time as staff secretary mean so much because his personal interactions are going to tell you way more than his correspondence professionally. Right. Yeah. And so that's why there are, I think that it's starting to make more sense to me that that's why that would be so important to them. That, well, yeah, I see all the opinions that you wrote and all this stuff, but you knew that everyone was going to see this.
Yeah, because they want to know how he thinks.
That's why, I can see somebody who is operating on such a high level as a Supreme Court justice probably is, right? Or a nominee probably is, right?
Yeah. I
can see that he's writing these things thinking, well, I got to use terminology that can be interpreted in the future by other people for whatever. That's how precedent happens. Like,
you have to assume that.
You know what I'm saying? So I'm at a place where I'm like, well, yeah, you're sitting here telling them, oh, well, that's not what I meant. I meant this. But you wrote that at the time knowing that you could say upon being questioned, oh, well, that's not what I meant. This is really what I meant.
It's either that or you're a shitty judge and you shouldn't be here anyway.
Exactly. So there's just a lot of... a lot of weird shit, that leaves me not feeling as good at, like, Neil Gorsuch I felt all right about. I was like, this, that. Like, this will be okay. There's some shit that, like, is questionable, but that stuff with the other people on the court will not be able to fly as much, Yeah. But I don't think that... I was hesitant the first time we talked about this, but I really do feel like this is being jammed through. This is being rushed through much more than the first time because they want to have 9 people on the court. And I think that that's bullshit because they were willing to put off the Merrick Garland nomination for a whole year, and have 8 people on the court then. So that argument doesn't wash for me. That's what they're saying. Yeah. So,
the really sad part about this? None of this would be a fucking issue if Harry Reid didn't change the rules of the Senate. Then we wouldn't have to be fucking worried about this because it wouldn't require a 51 vote majority. It would require
60, and it would have to be a more moderate nominee. Yeah. That wouldn't be...
somebody that can't piss everybody off.
Yes.
Yeah, it's just... and I hate to say it, but the more and more I watch these hearings, they're so publicized, and they're so different than what they should be. They're much more, these politicians are grandstanding. They're using it as a platform to politic, and that the Justice Department should not be, or not the Justice Department, but the judicial branch of government should not be used as a political tool. It's supposed to be our only tool against the other two arms of the government, the other 2 branches of government,
like from what Ben Sass was saying.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Ben Sass, I think, said it really, really well, and he's not lying.
Right.
He may be doing some kind of, that there's a wing in the Republican, in the Senate and the House, even that they have their grandstanders too, but they're a little bit different. They're not so social issue oriented.
Right.
But he's kind of a grandstander when it comes to how government should work.
Yes.
But the problem is he's not wrong when he says it.
It's all legitimate things.
It is.
I need to buy Ben Sass's book because he wrote a book.
It's a good book.
Did you read it? Oh, you audiobooked it?
I audiobooked it. And he narrates it. And
he's got
really
a good voice.
He does.
Yeah.
Talks a lot about growing up and hard work and stuff. It's a great book.
So I think one of the things that I was really concerned about when it came down to it, right, is I'm not convinced of Kavanaugh's impartiality. And one of the big hints that I had for that, I noticed it more when Lindsey Graham started to question it, right? Is that, and this is kind of to be expected because of who nominated him, right? And that's also something they talked about, but when any Democratic senator asked him any questions, he was absolutely unwilling to answer a yes or no at any time, right? But for Lindsey Graham and other Republicans, he would answer some yes or no, right? Not all of them because there's some shit that he's going to clarify, but he was at least willing to answer some things yes or no when a Republican senator was asking it. That in itself shows that he's not impartial because he's not allowing the same opportunity to all the senators,
Well, it's either that or the senators are teeing him up questions that he knows he's safe to say yes or no.
Well, and they absolutely were, but I know there's no question for Senator.
He's on their baseball team.
Senator Cornyn, I just drew a picture of a softball. That's all. Like, that's what that is, because there was nothing other than he used a decision in favor of bin Laden's bodyguard to try and show impartiality. That there's some ruling, and I have to look that up too. I don't know exactly what the specifics of the case are, but that he had some case where he ruled in favor of Osama bin Laden's bodyguard and driver, and that's, well, you're so fucking impartial that you were able to step out of even being a fucking American, to do this, and that's beyond impartiality because everybody's a patriot and everybody loves America and everybody fucking whatever, so it's bullshit. I just don't, like I said, I literally drew a picture of a fucking softball.
Yeah.
So just don't, here, I'm going to go ahead and...
That's so funny because that's exactly kind of
the way of this. So.
Word. Oh yeah, send up the softball.
Yep.
Yeah, that's so...
Softball.
Because that's what it is, man. I mean, you get a few guys that are there to ask questions.
Yes.
And then everyone else is on one team or the other.
It's bullshit.
It's a fucking baseball game. They're trying to tee them up, softies, or... line it up right down the center, nice and slow, whack. But yeah, it's fucking disgusting. I don't like it.
Fuck any other reform. We need to fucking Senate reform and a House reform. We need just a sweeping overhaul of a lot of these people that are in there. This is trash, you know what I'm saying? And the fucking... What's Ocasio-Cortez's and the guy from Portland? Those aren't the guys to be doing it. Joey Gibson, you know what I'm saying? Those aren't the guys to be doing it.
Leave Joey Gibson alone.
That's fuck. No. Joey Gibson, you stay the fuck out of here. You don't belong in Senate. That's why you got 6% of the voters on such shit.
6% was a lot, I thought, for him.
He got it.
I thought he'd get
not
a few
enough
percent,
to get anywhere.
No.
Yeah.
Because what do you need? 15 to get on the ballot or something?
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't think he would do it. We'll talk about more around that after we talk about the choice.
Yes.
But I did want to bring up one last thing about Kavanaugh, if you wanted to try to tie this up.
Yep, that's all I got. That's fucking, I don't love it. I'm not a fan. I think this is being rushed through, and I think there's some shit that's being hidden. And I think that's why all of this is this way. Mm-hmm. And I generally try not to be too conspiracy theory and, the government's out to fucking get you because I'm not a fan of massive government, but I believe that the government serves some role and I like to think that it's not to fuck me over, So yeah. I like to believe that they're trying to do kind of what's best for me.
Mm-hmm. But oh, ye of little faith.
That's just it's just because I see the potential in what the government could be. How this democratic republic is supposed to exist is
thank you for not saying democracy.
No, absolutely not. I know that. Everyone should know that. You shouldn't feel stupid if you don't know that, but this is not a democracy. This is a democratic republic, which is totally legitimate. I'm a fan. I'm in favor of it.
I'm a fan.
We'll talk about that another day.
We're both big fans of the republic.
I just see how it's supposed to be and how it could be. Yeah. And that's why I'm I gotta believe that for me to have faith that
system works. We just need to kind of morph it back to it.
For me to want to continue on my life and not want to fucking kill myself, I have to believe that,
Well, I mean, let's not go that far. You can always, apply for citizenship in Canada or
somewhere else.
Yeah. Well, you go be an expat.
Yeah. Oh, shit.
That's always an option, people. I mean, not always. Canada, I mean, you have a lot of ties to Canada, but Canada is extremely strict on their immigration.
Yes.
People that even can come visit, all this, I mean, they're very, very strict.
I got this joint wet.
Very interesting. Oh, no.
Yeah, that sucks.
So, I think this was from day 2. But, again, those YouTube clips, it's kind of hard to tell exactly what day it was. But it was from Senator Dick Durbin, Democrat from Illinois, I believe. But he questioned Brett Kavanaugh about why he didn't follow Supreme Court precedent in a case involving undocumented immigrant during the agro-processing case.
Yeah.
I was trying to read that, and I was like, why don't I? It's just harder to read. I'm just going to talk about it. So the case was agro-processors versus NLRB and the National Labor Relations Board. Yes. And so essentially, from the sounds of it, this place was essentially one of those legal sweatshops where they just treat their workers like shit. They fire them all the time if they act out, make them work a ton of hours and don't pay them and all this shit.
Yeah.
And so there was a group of, I guess there was a lot of illegal immigrants that were there, and they wanted to form a union to try to get some rights down there. And so the case went all the way up to Supreme Court, and the decision was on whether or not they could unionize, whether or not illegal immigrants working at that place could unionize.
We're allowed to unionize.
Yeah, and the Labor Relations Board was arguing that, well, they're employees, of course they can. It doesn't, immigration is not an issue here.
Right.
And at that time, I think it was where was it? The Immigration and Nationality Act. We'll get into that later. But at the time, there's a case back in '84 that Brett Kavanaugh used as, what do they call it? Not precedent, but similar, to try to reference another ruling in a case and kind of use the same logic behind that to apply to this case. Mm-hmm. It's what Supreme Court's judges do all the time. But it was a 1984 case called Shurtan versus National Labor Relations, and it was something similar. But back then, so I actually went back and I pulled up the actual court report that he mentioned that Dick Durbin mentioned to Kavanaugh while they were talking. One. Yeah. And so I went back and actually looked at the language, looking to the section that Kavanaugh used to justify his ruling in the case, because Kavanaugh had ruled that even though he was against the majority, so he lost, and so he wrote a dissenting opinion about it, and he was explaining why he ruled the way he did, and it was basically the fact that he looked at the immigration laws that were going on at the time, and they were about to make illegal immigrants unprotected from unionizing. They weren't protected employees at that point. So I went back to the law, and they cited the fact that the Immigration and Nationality Act, so I'll just read it verbatim, quote, "For whatever reason, Congress has not adopted provisions in the INA, the Immigration and Nationality Act, making it unlawful for an employer to hire an alien who is present or working in the United States without appropriate authorization. While it is unlawful to conceal, harbor, or shield from detection an alien," essentially he's pointing out that it's illegal to harbor an alien, but it wasn't technically illegal to employ an alien. And so he used that logic. He used the logic that they looked into the Immigration Act at that time to help justify their decision.
So because they're not allowed to bitch about it, you can do whatever you want.
Yeah, so he went back and looked at, because this was back, I don't remember when it was, but it was a while ago, back before the National Labor Board and stuff had lobbied to make it illegal to hire immigrants, illegal immigrants. And so he went back and he looked at the immigration law at the time, he said, was like, well, they're about to pass this thing, which will make it illegal. So then he used that to justify his dissent at the time, even though at the time the precedent from before was that they had the right to do that because employing them isn't illegal. And so again, it's very similar to that, what you were talking about. He's like, well, my interpretation was that they went back and they were able to do that. So I just did the same thing, and that's how I justify it. And well, that's not your fucking job.
Right.
The law has to change before you can judge on it. That citation you used wasn't part of the law at the time. So this is apples and oranges anyways. You can't just do that. And that to me,
right,
it was pretty damning to me. I just go, that's not your fucking job.
Yeah, if the law's already changed, I'm just going to use a thing from before the law was in place, and I'm going to use that instead.
That's what we should be fighting against here is the lawmaking by the judicial branch, the essential lawmaking behind the judicial branch. They're not supposed to make law.
Right.
That's again talking about what Ben Sass said. Bass. What he said, it was, that's not their fucking job. It's the legislature's job to do that. And to me, if I was on the Senate right now, I'd say no. For one, again, because I too feel like this whole thing's been rushed. And especially with the amount of documents, I would have just cut the hearing off and said, okay, we'll push it till we're done.
Yeah.
And then we'll get caught up and we'll do it again. But that would be after midterms, wouldn't it?
And the big thing, like I said, they're talking about is him being there for when the next term starts in October.
Yeah. Because they want him in.
Yeah,
they want to try to get that because he's looked at as that possible swing vote. Because he's replacing Justice Kennedy that retired. Yes.
Kennedy is retiring.
And he used to work for Kennedy, too.
He did.
And I think we talked
so
about
did
that.
Gorsuch.
Yeah. That's interesting. But yeah, that was the one point I kind of wrote down on that. Because it was, like, that to me was just like, well, okay. I don't trust your logic now behind this. Because even me, who's not a legal scholar by any standards, I just got a feeling that's dirty law, you know?
Yeah.
So anyways, can we put this Kavanaugh thing to bed?
Yeah.
We'll just watch. When's the actual vote?
The Senate or the committee vote is on Thursday, and then I think that the full Senate vote is at the end of September.
Did you watch any of day 4? I think day 4 was like all his testimonials, right? His friends or whatever.
I did not.
I mean, either. I was really not interested in that.
Fuck them.
I don't understand why that's a thing. Okay, here's a bunch of my friends. A couple of them have like been against me in a couple cases, but for the most part, they're all my golf buddies. Let me, sit down and listen to them talk about how awesome I am.
Yeah.
You think he's going to get in?
Probably.
I think so. I think the way the rules are now, it's just...
But I hope that he doesn't,
Yeah.
I hope that enough Republicans, are there enough to be like, this doesn't seem exactly correct, to do something about it. But
yeah, because if we just go partisan line, he's going to get in because Pence will break the tie.
Murkowski and Collins.
Yeah.
If they go party, but it depends on, they said that they wouldn't vote for anybody who showed disdain for Roe v. Wade, but I don't know how he's supposed to show disdain for Roe v. Wade if he's not going to answer fucking questions about, how he might consider ruling on it, or, even whether or not he thinks that it's a good ruling.
Yeah.
Or,
well, that's part of the game. She can say that because it's a very safe thing to say.
Right.
But I don't know. Yeah, you never know which way she's going to go. John McCain now, we don't have his up or down vote.
Right.
Which I didn't look into that. How long has it got to be? I got to remember to fact check that. How long does it have to go until there's another special election or? Oh, because somebody stepped in.
No, remember the
intern, right?
The governor gets to select who does it.
Yes.
So the governor selected it, and so they go through. I guess that's just Arizona's rule.
Yeah.
Because the governor selects it, and then the next time his seat is up, then they get to vote. So that's when that happens.
When
and he put in
2 years.
I think so. Yeah. And he put in an ex-senator for Arizona. I don't remember what his name is. Kyle, I think, is his last name.
Yeah.
So
I remember that now.
Yeah. So he's in there. I don't know. You know what I do know? The problem with the Oregon Ducks is they can't hold on to the fucking ball. Dropping that shit, the receivers.
You can't do that when it comes to these basically scrimmage games they're fucking playing right now.
14-0, but
this is free points.
Yeah.
This is practice. You got B squad in there probably.
This is San Jose State that we're playing.
Oh.
So
poor San Jose.
Super legit.
Can you imagine being one of those kids going to that game like, well, we got to fucking play Oregon this week.
We just smash somebody out like 64 to fucking 20 or whatever last week. That blows.
I don't even want to go, man. No. You going to go? Yeah, I'm going to go.
So what do you want to talk about next? Do you want to talk about Joe Rogan's next, or do you want to talk about Catholic Church next?
I want to talk about Catholic Church next.
Word! Okay.
So I want to start this real quick.
Do it. Oh my God, do it.
I'm going to start this by giving essentially the latest part of the scandal that has come out.
Yes.
And this was coming from it was released on Wednesday via a German newspaper outlet called Die Zeit.
Der newspaper?
Yeah. But it's essentially the Time or the Times.
Words.
And I actually kind of rehearsed that before this, and I totally butchered it.
I'm sure you did.
And I actually took a couple years of German. It's terrible. But anyways, they dropped a story over there about the latest investigation.
In Germany, right?
In Germany, yeah. And it's really strange because it was a investigation set up and run by the Catholic Church. And so even though the numbers that have come out of that, the official release, I should say, doesn't drop until the 25th, I believe, of this month, September 2018. But somehow or other, some of it was leaked to this newspaper, and they published some of the numbers.
To the dirt people?
Yeah, to the dirt people. And that's racist, B. But anyways, the study looked at some 24 dioceses participating in the study, commissioned by the Catholic Church Bishops' Conference in Germany. The researchers who spent 4 years studying records and conducting new interviews found 1,670 priests and other religious leaders who were suspected of engaging in abuse.
1,600 priests?
4.4% of the total number of the clergy in that country.
Fuck.
So you're almost 4.5%. Almost. Yeah. That's like 1 in 20. 1 in 20
is likely to rape your kid.
Yeah.
Or molest them in some form.
Or like a kid.
Or another priest, because that was one of the big things that we'll talk about that in like Pittsburgh, but that was one of the big allegations there is they have people that are molesting other priests, like just young priests that are there.
Yeah.
It's not even fucking kids anymore. It's young priests.
Yeah, they found that over the past 7 decades, at least 3,677 children have been sexually abused by clergy members there in
like
that country.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Averaging 2 apiece. That's
and so it's a 350-page report, and it, like I said though before, it was commissioned by the Catholic Church, essentially a group within the Catholic Church, the Catholic Church Bishops' Conference in Germany. But yeah, it was. It comes after Pennsylvania, that whole thing that you're talking about, which we'll talk about later. After that blowing up, it was like what, over 300?
1,000 children abused and over 300 priests.
Good Lord. But anyways, so we'll just start off. That's the latest thing coming out. So we really won't know 100% because I don't know the validity of this newspaper or anything. I'm assuming it's reputable because it sounds reputable. But the release is coming out in next 2 weeks from now. Essentially so the 25th, right? 10 days. Yeah. So it should be, what is that, next? Not this Tuesday, but the following Tuesday. Yeah. So we'll find out for sure there. But 350-page report. And it's just...
That's crazy.
Just more, man. Just more.
Yeah.
Numbers, more states have already signed on in the U.S. looking into their stuff. I got numbers for that later. But
like 8 states or something like that? Maybe that seems like too many, maybe.
Too many. We'll just do that now. Yeah. After Pennsylvania, New York, New Jersey, Connecticut, Illinois, Missouri, Nebraska, New Mexico, Oklahoma, and Wyoming so far.
9. Boom.
That's almost 10% of the country.
That's horrible.
And I think that's...
With good reason, right? Because now we can move on to Pennsylvania, right? Exactly. They're looking into this because this Pennsylvania investigation, like we said, found 1,000 children abused, over 300 priests, and I think that they said like how many of the fucking counties, right? Because they said it's like 5 of the 8 counties or something like that.
The diocese. Yeah. I had that map up earlier.
Over 70 years.
70?
300 priests over 70 years.
Yeah. Good Lord. I actually have, and I'll put it in the show notes and stuff under the video, and I'll send you the links and stuff for the podcast. But I have the original part 1 of the Boston Globe Spotlight story.
Ooh, I started reading it.
Yeah, it's crazy, right?
Yes.
And it's funny, they use some of the same language in the movie, which was awesome. Because I watched the movie and then I read the actual article.
The report said, before we move on, there are likely thousands more victims whose records were lost or who were too afraid to come forward. And that's from this New York Times article that I actually just tweeted. So Boom. It's out there. But that's...
So go back in your, in case you missed it, files. It's right there.
Yeah. Just terrible shit. That's going on here. They've paid billions of dollars in settlements. And that's even after they've put in like new prevention programs. And then the
Well, I mean, they've had like clinics go where they think they can cure people of this disease. And
the former Archbishop of Washington, Cardinal Theodore E. McCarrick, he just resigned because he was accused of sexually abusing other priests and seminarians, as well as minors. And it's...
I don't know what to think about it. It's...
The thing... Okay, so I want to mention this, right? Because this is something that I told you for your wife. And I think that anybody who's Catholic should remember this, right? That this is not about you. Like, this is not reflective of you or, like, your faith or anything like that. Like, this is... There's the book they talked about. It's called Sex, Lies, and Priests. Yeah. And I'm going to buy that book and I'm going to read it, right?
I added it to my wish list already.
Because it shows, I mean, there's obvious problems with the structure of, like, the leadership system in the church, you know, that allows things like this to happen. But there's obviously also, I mean, I don't know.
Yeah. Aquinas Walter Richard Sipe is the author. So he goes Richard Sipe.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was
Oh, that's fucking rad.
Aquinas, you tell me.
That's rad.
Aquinas Walter Richard Sipe was an American Benedict monk priest for 18 years, a psychotherapist and author of 6 books about Catholicism and the critical sex abuse in the Catholic Church.
So I'm going to be buying some of these books and I'm going to be reading them.
And what the big focus on clerical celibacy.
Yeah. And that's like what he identifies as one of the big problems is just that everybody's supposed to be celibate. He one of the things that they say in that movie that he says is that over half of the leadership in the church is not celibate with, I mean, women or men or whatever, mostly women, but like, you know, obviously X% of them in this form, you know? So,
you know, like I was talking to Carolina about this before, but back in the Middle Ages, I mean, these guys used to be rock stars.
Right.
I mean, they had, in a lot of cases, they had way more power than whatever local king you were in.
Right.
You know, whatever kingdom you were in, like the church had the power. These dudes were fucking rock stars. They could get anything they wanted. They were wealthier than shit. You know, so that celebrity hasn't necessarily changed. Like it has, because society's changed around it, but they're still rock stars.
Right.
But that's the thing. They're just, to me anyways, they're just rock stars.
Yeah.
You know, I think one of the hardest parts about this power that they have is the fact that there's in that faith, you know, they're seen as closer to God. And so to be able to have an intimate relationship with somebody like that, that's got to be some kind of crazy power, man. That, you know, it's an absolute power that can corrupt absolutely.
Right.
And I think I think this could be a prime example of that.
Well, and one of the things they talk about in the movie, which also reminded me, I'm not Catholic, but a conversation I had with my grandma a long time ago, right? When I was asking about, like, probably around 2002 or shortly after, when I was old enough to comprehend it and was asking about it, you know? And I was like, how does stuff like this happen, right? And one of the things that they talk about in Spotlight, like I said, that my grandma told me is, one of the things you have to consider is, like, the position of a priest in a Catholic person's life, right? Like it is like God asking a favor of you for this person to want to spend time with you and asking you to do stuff like that's like it's like a direct connection to God because that's like what your faith dictates, you know. Because that's not how I lead my life. I have a hard time comprehending that, but it's just because that's not where my values lie, right?
Exactly. So everybody's got the different value system.
Exactly. So I don't by any means judge anybody that fell victim to anything like this. This is by nothing of like your own control. You know what I'm saying? You were absolutely taken advantage of by somebody who exactly knew what they were doing and groomed you to the point that they could take advantage of you and then move on and do something else, you know?
Sociopathic.
Yeah. So it's just, I don't know, like I said, it's not anybody's fault. Like some type of structure that is built within that church that allows those people to take advantage of the people that are at their church.
Yeah.
You know?
And it's a scary thing because, like you said, those people, for obvious reasons, just because I'm not what you would call a believer or anything, I have a hard time understanding what it truly would feel like but we still understand that it's a thing, and it's perfectly reasonable. Just because I don't feel that way, it doesn't mean that, like you said, like you were just saying, just because we don't feel that way, it doesn't mean that we can't understand that you can feel like that.
Right.
And so by no means is it it's never these kids' fucking fault.
Not at all.
It's just not. It can't be by definition.
Not at all.
It's fucking tragic. And you've seen now, there's, especially since that letter by Archbishop Carlo Maria Vigano, sent up
you
to
got a better guess than I do.
Yeah, I think it's Vigano. But yeah, he used to be he's the former, essentially, ambassador to the United States from the Catholic Church, Vatican. He wrote in kind of a weird, shady series of events, anyways. He supposedly wrote a letter to the Pope.
Yes.
Talking about, asking essentially for his resignation because he knew about all these things. And then Pope Francis didn't do himself any favors, and he decided he said he wasn't going to speak a word on this.
Yeah.
And that the letter speaks for itself.
That's a whole nother part that we have to talk about, right? That I think that Spotlight, the movie, and that team were really shed a lot of light on, right? Which is not just the widespread sexual abuse of children, right? But it is the rampant cover-up of this activity, right? And also, after learning about it, taking somebody and putting them on sick leave for a year in some type of rehabilitation place that is run by the church, and then putting them back in another church, putting them back out in the public where they can abuse more children. And it's not just it happens once or twice, especially the guy in one of the main cases in Spotlight, right? The Gaten case.
Yeah.
Repeatedly, 10 or 12 times, that guy was replaced in churches where he was given the opportunity to abuse children. That is absolutely fucking absurd.
And I don't know if it really actually happened, because I haven't gotten that part into the article yet, but in the movie, when Rachel McAdams goes to that guy's house and he's there, and it's just blatantly I did. But no, it's okay. I didn't mean anything bad by it.
So I didn't get any satisfaction.
Yeah.
It's just...
Which is what he learned in his rehabilitation.
Yeah.
It's fine as long as you didn't enjoy it. But I don't know how true that part was, but that was a fucking powerful scene in that movie.
I don't know. I haven't read all those articles. You only get 2 free articles a week on the Chicago Tribune, which is bullshit. And I'm certainly not going to pay for not my local paper.
The Boston Globe has a 99-cent per week.
Yeah.
And I was like, I don't know if I could do that. How often am I going to look at the Boston Globe?
Right.
But I got the first part pulled up. But I'll send you the link. All the links to all the stuff. Any articles that we use or anything like that, I got them.
I'm going to try
all copy and paste.
I'm going to try and do it through the Tor browser. So, like I said, I think that
I don't even know what that is.
The Onion router. It's a VPN thing.
Okay.
I think if you use a Tor browser, you can go to the New York Times and stuff like that, and not limit your articles because it's changing IP addresses every time. Mm-hmm. And so it's.
I wonder if mine does that now, because I have that new Brave browser.
I don't know.
But it is kind of jacked up.
Tor.
I did have this guilty feeling the other day, and I'm going to pull it up right now. You go to the Times, and it says, usually they have just ads every few paragraphs, and it's a fucking nightmare, because they usually have videos and music. It's terrible. But it just says, please disable your ad blocker. Advertising helps fund Times journalism. I'm like, I feel almost guilty for that.
Fuck you.
Almost guilty. But yeah. I mean, they got to make money somehow, I guess.
Yes.
But I just the current ad model is not good, but that is not what we're talking about.
So Spotlight.
Let's talk about Spotlight.
Movie.
2002.
Right. 2002, based on a group of people, a reporting team called the Spotlight Team.
Well, that's when the movie took place, 2002.
Yes, and that's when the reports came out. So it's 2002, because part of it is 9/11.
So, oh my God, I forgot about that. That was fucked up.
Yes. So the reporting, I think they started doing investigating in 2000 and then started reporting it in 2002 because the Spotlight is a deep research team out of the Chicago Tribune that just does like long-term research.
Boston
pieces.
Globe.
What did I say?
Chicago Tribune.
Oh, Boston Globe.
Yeah, you said that a minute ago.
Yeah.
But I was like, no, I'm pretty sure
it's Boston Globe. It's not the Chicago Tribune.
I've driven by the Boston Globe a number of times.
It's the Boston Globe. I'm sorry to the
I do
Spotlight
enjoy
team.
it. Sully their name with the Chicago Tribune.
Yeah, no,
at least it's not the Herald, right?
Right.
They had a thing in the movie where they had this rivalry with the Herald.
Yes. Yeah, it is the Boston Globe. I apologize for that. And so they have a Spotlight team, like I said, that just does deep investigating on stuff. And so they started investigating allegations of sexual abuse in children in the diocese in Boston.
But why? We should talk about that. Who came in? They got a new editor at the newspaper.
Yeah, Marty Barron
from the Times.
Yeah, who asked them to choose that case or that story for Spotlight.
Yeah.
I mean, so he was, at least by the movie, I don't know how true that is in real life, but he was a large part of the driving for them to choose that piece. And so they started investigating and talked to all kinds of people that were abused, all kinds of victims, several lawyers, and were able to get documents unsealed and letters that proved that the cardinal for that area knew about the abuse that was going on in the church, specifically with Gagan, who was one of the priests there, specifically with him, I mean, in the 80s.
Yeah,
and
this was 84, 86.
Yeah, 84. And just continued to move him around to different parishes instead of actually taking him out of circulation and not putting him in more positions where he could abuse more children, and so they found 87 priests in Boston that had, I think that they found like
84.
84, is that what it was?
Yeah, from the article itself.
And they found, I think double confirmation on like 70 of them, that they had abused children and then been moved to another parish and abused more children.
And it moved and moved and moved.
And I just can't even believe that, that's crazy. That something like that is able to happen. And as you find out at the end of the movie, it's not just America. It's all over the world that this happens. So it's not by any means just something that's wrong with white people, That's
why the timing of this was so perfect to watch this, because we just had that story break in Germany.
Yes.
More and more states are opening investigations. Attorney generals
over the world.
Yes.
The end of the movie is a list that is 4 screens long, I think, of locations in the United States and then around the globe that have had serious major cover-up allegations for the Catholic Church.
And what big city was on there that is close to us?
For Spokane, and there was a couple of different
Yakima.
Yeah. Like a couple of different
Seattle.
cities just in... I don't know. I have it queued up for the end of the movie queued up, but I forgot to write them down or anything. So, it's all over the place, and I don't know. I like I said, I'm not Catholic, so I don't have any type of view into the church or the way that works or any type of system that.
Well, I can only imagine as devastating and disgusting it is for us, it's got to be at least twice as bad for Catholics, because this is it makes the faith, it besmirches the faith a little bit, even though that it's not necessarily something that it's not nothing. There's nothing wrong with the faith itself. It's more or less, we don't know technically what it is. We could probably point to something like the practice of celibacy. That's probably a huge contributor.
Yeah.
But it might just be that the way the system is set up, it just might attract predators to it. It just might. You never know. But it does not. And I think it's very important to, again, just beat it home. It has nothing to do with the faith itself, as far as, it doesn't lessen Catholicism any less.
No.
It's no better or worse than any other sect of Christianity, unless, of course, you're Catholic and you think you're better than most Christians. But
if that's your jam and that's what makes sense to you, then ride that out. This is not by any means us trying to devalue that faith or anything like that, but it's I think, important to accept and understand that this is something that is happening within that system of belief that you are taking part in.
And I think the movie did a great job at presenting that, because especially early on, I'm good. I mean, there's a lot of just people that just won't believe it because, that can't be right. This one guy, he's twisted. Well, then you find out that the Archbishop himself, Cardinal Law, in this particular case, he had direct knowledge of all of this. So how much higher does it go?
Right.
Spotlight ended up breaking the story at the time because it was to the point where all those records were going to be publicly unsealed and it was going to be a bigger release. And so then other reporters could have gotten to it, but they wanted to go higher.
Right.
I don't know if I didn't follow that up, but
well, and I gotta believe that with these new reports coming out of Pennsylvania, out of Germany, and then probably going to come out of these other states, that
all
it's gotta,
signs point to it.
That it's not going to stop here. This is a sweeping movement of looks into the Catholic Church and what's going on there. And I think that a lot of people are going to be expelled, and I think at the end of this, it's going to be better for the people that are in the faith. It's going to be a cleaner, group of people you have running your fucking faith.
It's going to be rough for a minute. By the time something actually happens, but I think when it does, everyone will be a lot better off.
Better for you in the end,
yeah. So that's just terrifying to think about. That number alone in Germany, 1 in 20, essentially, a little less than that, like 1 in 21 probably, but still, that's a fuck ton, man. And it's not every time. But it's a that's a Russian roulette game I don't want to play.
One of those with as big of a faith as Catholicism is, so widespread that there's so many churches that there's probably 20 in a county, That means in that county, one of those people probably is molesting your children, and that's, or is likely to, and that's horrible that.
It's fucking mind-boggling, but it's the reality of it.
It's mind-boggling.
Boggling? Oh, I meant boggling.
I'm sure you said boggling, but that's what it made me think.
Mind-boggling.
It's mind-boggling.
That's weird.
God damn it!
How they doing?
Blocked a motherfucking field goal.
See, I really like these small football breaks because it helps them lighten the mood a little bit.
Yeah,
but that's really all I wanted to touch on. It's just kind of an ongoing thing. Every day almost more and more of these states are signing up to look into these things. More allegations are coming out. Now we see it spreading across over to Germany. I don't know what the hell's happening. On Thursday this week, the Pope actually met with, what's the group's name?
NAMBLA.
No, it was a
not
group
funny.
Of.
That's a bad joke that I just made. Poor taste is what that joke is.
It's in poor taste, but it doesn't necessarily mean it's not funny.
If you don't know what NAMBLA is, look it up because I'm not gonna.
I was introduced to NAMBLA.
Into that.
I was introduced to NAMBLA by South Park.
I don't even remember where I heard of that the first time.
And I almost want to explain what it is so nobody will accidentally Google it and be surprised.
Nope. That's what you get.
Yep.
It's not great.
Roll the dice, baby.
And you're going to be like, why the fuck do you even know what that is? But it's...
Because I watched South Park.
South Park. So...
South Park has been a very informative source to my life. They taught me all about NAMBLA. They taught me all about Scientology before, all of it came out. They were one of the first people to explain Mormonism.
Yeah.
Which,
all the way.
I love Mormons, man. But they can be crazy. That's fine. I don't care. They're good people. I don't judge them for what they believe.
Do you.
Yeah, you do you, baby. But yeah, anyways, like I said, on Thursday, the Pope Francis went ahead and he's meeting with a large group of American priests to try to talk about how they can tackle this situation, I guess, and he's trying to make some moves, I think, on, at least publicly, trying to figure something out. So I don't know any course of action other than they just need to fucking go. Turn them over to local authorities, but most of the statute of limitations on these things is so far
That's the other thing. Yeah. It's so much of it's been going on for so long, that a lot of these people are adults now, and it's too late for them to be
most of them you can't
for most of the cases. Yeah.
Which means you can't label them legal sex offenders.
Right.
Because, and
if they've not already been defrocked, then, they're still out there being old as shit and fucking little kids, and that's terrible. Yeah. That's what I've had this written down for several weeks, but fucking Casey Bowman got me onto a streak of watching fucking To Catch a Predator on YouTube.
Oh, dude,
all of the shit that I have been watching at work. Yeah. There's just all these people that are like, what do you mean? Like, I'm just here to just hang out. Like, I would never fucking say anything like that, Like, I don't know. That's crazy.
You did.
Yeah.
Again, South Park episode.
A rabbi and a school teacher, a fucking cop, Colin. Oh, my God. A fucking cop, a fucking police officer that showed up to fuck a little kid, like a 13-year-old. You know what I'm saying?
That's Chris Hansen.
Yeah, I'm Chris Hansen. Yeah, and it was a whole deal. But it's crazy. They're fucking everywhere, and like that is the weirdest thing. Like,
that's terrifying.
What about you makes like not you, but like somebody who wants to now. Like assault children, like what the fuck in your brain makes that the way that is, Because
are you worried about it? You're about to bring in a kid into this world.
Oh, most certainly. I mean, not a church, but I mean, most certainly that's something that concerns me. Like my kid just being snatched, that there was all kinds of. My mom was a good mom, right? There was all kinds of irresponsible shit that I did. That I used to get fucked up at people's houses and then would walk home from miles away in the middle of the night, And I was a larger kid, like, so granted it would probably have to be like two people to like take me from somewhere. But at any moment, at 2 a.m, walking along the side of the highway to get back to my house, I could certainly have been picked up by some random fucking person because I was shithoused. Like, so... I don't know. It didn't happen, obviously, but there has been stuff that has happened in this town, that
you never know.
Exactly. So it's
you ever gone on to the what is I don't remember the actual website, but if you just Google like
fuck no, I have not.
Okay.
No.
It's fucking terrifying
because I'm not
yeah.
I don't know, it's a hard deal like
see, I will say that
because what's even the chance that
I mean I've heard of a lot of
I've heard of rehabilitation.
I don't know if that's a thing. I don't know if it's rehabilitation or just willpower. But I mean I will say that I've heard a lot of stories about people that have been labeled a sex offender. The stereotypical one is like, well, it was late at night. I was shithoused and I was walking through a park and I had to pee. So then I like peed in this bush and the cops on me and now I'm a pedophile.
Well,
like I understand there's some situations like that, but for the most part, I just want to see what that map looks like just in case. So, I'm not willing to roll the dice.
So check this. oh man, this is like a way better story not on the podcast. But I'll tell anyway.
We'll have the
because there's
classified version.
Yeah, there's nicknames and shit that
person A, person B.
So this girl, she took videos and pictures of herself and sent them to like this other kid that we knew, this boy that
I think you might have told me this before. A couple of boys
that we knew. And we were all in junior high, like so we were all 15 years old,
Yeah.
But then, like, they got spread around and people found out about it. I mean, which is the risk that you put yourself at when you are young and fucking when you are any age and take pictures of yourself naked and you send them to somebody, you risk them being sent anywhere, especially if you put them on the internet for any reason. They are there for fucking ever.
Yep.
That's beside the point.
And I know you can't control kids, but you need to impress that to your kids when they have a phone.
Right. So it got found out, right? And then, like, this kid that I knew that, again, was 15 years old, he had to register as a sex offender until he was 21 years old. Like, Jesus. Because he had received child pornography technically under the law, even though he himself was a child, and it was a picture of a girl that wanted to fuck him or whatever, and that
sounds like early sexting laws.
And it was like,
because I remember when sexting wasn't a thing.
right, yeah.
I remember those
I'm
days.
right on the cutting edge of sending dick pics and stuff, like
I didn't know what a dick pic was until it was popular.
I knew what a dick pic was when I was fucking 13 years old.
I didn't have to grow up with that.
Oh yeah, dude.
We started out by people taking pictures of poop and hey, yo, look at this dump.
Hadn't moved on from that.
Yeah, and then we scaled up apparently.
All penises.
All the time. So many penises.
Yeah.
But I could see how maybe in that era the laws were kind of different maybe than they are now. I don't know.
And I don't know if it would be ruled the same way now, but at the time, I think when it was 2008, 2009, that's how that happened. That's because I was in junior high in 2009.
So that's
just
fucked up. That's right.
Yeah. So that's, like I said, I don't know
fucking
if that's
young gun.
If that's how it would be argued now, but
why did you got to say that again? 2008, 2009. You were in junior high.
Yeah. I was in 9th grade, 2009.
I'd been in the Coast Guard for a fucking full tour already. God, I feel old right now. Yeah. Every time we do this, I feel so fucking old. Oh, that's funny.
I don't know. It's a world out there, and I'm also a firm believer that if that's an illness that you live with, that's not your fault. I truly believe, and I have no scientific basis other than my own belief, that there is something cognitively wrong in your brain that is causing that to happen. Neurologically, there's something wrong that is causing
and I can
that to happen,
tell you exactly why you believe that. It's because you believe, I think, at heart, most people are good people. You're going to give people the benefit of the doubt.
Nobody wants to fuck a kid. That's as
I think we
harsh as that might be to say it that way, but I gotta believe that nobody wants to be doing that naturally unless there's some type of abnormality in what how when someone is a psychopath, their MRI looks different of their brain, their brain looks different than somebody who's not.
I'm gonna take your word on that one because you're all about them crime shows.
Touchdown, yeah.
Again? What's the score now?
It is 21-6 now, about to be 21-6. So
21-6.
Yeah, when you're a psychopath, your brain scan looks different than somebody who is not a psychopath. That's a real thing. So
why didn't NCIS teach me that?
I gotta believe that it's something similar with someone who's a child molester, but I also don't know what the psychopathy rate for pedophiles is. But there's also a difference.
There's got to be a study for that.
There's also a difference between pedophiles and pederasts, right? One of them...
is that the one that's a little older?
No. So I believe, and I don't have to fact check this, right? So I believe that a pederast is somebody who has actually carried out, has actually sexually assaulted a child. But I believe that a pedophile is just somebody who has, urges to sexually assault.
Different psychosomatic labels.
Yeah, I believe. So I'll look that up when I
remember this, when the Milo Yiannopoulos kind of thing happened, and what was there's a word for that. It's where people don't there's an age difference where there's an age gap where it cuts off where they're 13, 14. And I think people thought Milo might have been one of those type of people, and I don't remember the name of the term, but
I don't know.
Either way, like you said, I have to believe that there's something medically wrong with him, psychologically wrong, because otherwise, I don't know what to fucking think of this world, because that's some dark shit.
Well, and it was for a long time, and again, I don't know if it's still like this now, right? But it was for a long time that. If you were to tell somebody that you were having urges like that, then they had to report it, and so it's you can't even seek treatment, if you're trying to actively live your life and you're I know if you are smart enough to recognize that that is abnormal and you don't want to do that, but it's something that you can't avoid because of whatever is wrong with your brain that's causing that. Like I genuinely believe you should be able to seek some type of treatment for that or some type of help to, I mean, if you've gone 35 years living that way, but have never done anything, you know, but you're like, I need help, you know, like something's going on. I know that something is wrong. Like what the fuck is going on? You know, like I truly believe you should be able to seek help. You know, if you've acted on that, if that's something you've done,
sorry, bro.
You made your fucking choice. You did that, you know, but I don't know, you know?
Yeah. I mean,
that's a really broad opinion for, I don't know.
Yeah. And I mean, there's only,
it's hard to even argue like, well, you know, circumstantial fucking whatever other than guy pissing in a park, you know, and like accidental, you know, dick pics and fucking whatever.
But no, I think there's
sexting and
there's got to be some merit to what you're saying, just because, again, I mean, is that amount of people, is there that amount of people that are that just evil, or is it a mental psychological problem that is no different, say, than what's the split personality? I don't remember. Where people have different personalities, or you know, psychopathic, or you know, whatever. Is it any different from one of those, or you know, because I mean, in psychopaths, it's not necessarily something that's their fault, but they can go out and fucking kill people and do terrible fucking shit. And I mean, it's the same. Is it the same with, you know, pedophiles? Is it this thing that they have that at one point they just can't control anymore, and then it's just they have no control over their bodies? And is that the sickness? But instead of killing people, they rape people.
Right.
That's for the psychiatrist.
Yeah, I have no idea. I'm not fucking advanced enough in the field to. Well,
I think that's reading that guy's book, because he was a psychotherapist. The what's his name again? Sipe, yeah.
His first name was crazy.
I bet you
Aquanemius or something like that.
Oh no, his name was. Oh, it's in my spotlight folder. Aquinas, Walter Richard Sipe.
Yeah,
yeah, and I bet you he got that name when he was a monk priest, whatever that is, because Aquinas is like that's an old world.
Or is it?
It's just an old world name. You know, like the popes take a pope.
They take like a
papal name. Or,
they take the name of like a saint,
pious name,
think, right?
Yeah, usually, yeah. Like Francis is not his real name,
right?
Pope Benedict was not his name. Who was the last pope that retired really weirdly?
I don't know.
Benedict. Benedict.
So. We've had there was a lot of Benedicts.
Yeah, yeah, and they're all like Benedict the 27th.
Yeah.
Bum bum bum. But anyways, let's put that thing to bed. That's depressing me.
Yeah.
It's sad, but it's something to watch, so we'll watch.
You want to talk about Joe Rogan's now?
I would love to talk about Joe Rogan's right now.
Okay. Do you want to talk about Larry Sharpe first?
Let's have some light vamping in between here. Let's. You listen to Neil deGrasse Tyson too?
Yeah.
So what was that? What stood out to you in that?
I always learn lots of shit when I listen to him.
Yeah.
One of the cool things was the fucking.
Because I listened to it as soon as it came out, so I'm a little rusty on it.
He told me that. Well, he didn't.
He told
me, right?
you.
He told me. No.
Hits you up on your Twitter.
I learned that. That's funny that I said that. No, he said that he thought that Christopher Columbus coming to America was like the most significant event in all of like human history.
Okay.
And he,
I remember that now.
Yeah, and he said that,
and he had a good justification.
Yes, and he said that because, and his explanation is going to be way more long-winded than mine, but he was talking about how the group of people that lived in America at that time, the Native Americans, like that race of people had lived there for tens of thousands of years because they walked over there on the land bridge during the Ice Age, before that ended. And then when the Ice Age ended, the land bridge went away.
Yeah, we had a part of our human tribe that was all of a sudden cut off.
Yeah.
With no way to contact for thousands and thousands of years.
And so when Christopher Columbus and his crew came to America, that was the first time that those two races of people had connected in in thousands and thousands of years.
Yeah.
You know, and that's like crazy. You know, just
that is crazy.
Like, development, like in technology, had come to a point where they were able to do that. You know, that's insane because it's just as likely probably that they never figure that out and just live in two different parts of the world forever.
Yeah, know? It's just as likely that it did not happen.
Yeah,
as it was when it did happen.
Which is that's insane,
right?
So people are crazy.
At what point does a human being say, "You know what? I know the only thing out there is ocean forever and ever and ever,
but I'm
gonna go check it out.
Yeah,
I'm gonna go see what's up.
I'm just gonna go and make sure."
And I'm not saying that was Christopher Columbus's mentality at the time because it really wasn't.
It's going to discover all the seaports.
Yeah, he was just trying to
all the ports, but all the
he was trying to find that
coasts.
The different way to a faster route.
Yeah,
to the spice lands.
That's what it was. It was. He also said that Captain Cook, when he was sent from Britain, his mission was to just identify all of the coastlines that he could find, and then he was at.
Dude, I wish I could do that fucking job.
But he also said that Christopher Columbus came up on some tiny ass island and needed to get a bunch of supplies, and that particular race of people only made enough. Like, only grew enough shit for 1 year. They never, ever had any surplus. That's just not how they live their lives. And so, when Christopher Columbus requested that, they were like, well, we can't, like, because we won't be able to live. And he knew that, at the time, right, what is it called? When, like, the moon covers up the sun? What's that called?
The eclipse?
Yeah, the eclipse charts, like, were advanced enough. Sorry. The eclipse charts were advanced enough at the time that he knew that there was going to be eclipse in, like, 10 days or 7 days or something like that. And he was like, Christopher Columbus said to these people, he said, okay, but if you don't give me this stuff, then in, X amount of days time, like, my God, who's more powerful than your God, is gonna, like, cover up the sun, and he's gonna make it blood red, and it's gonna be fucking terrible. And, they didn't give him that shit, and then
that's such a dick move.
You know what I'm saying? And so he went over the time that he was the biggest dick, and then also when he felt like it was maybe the most important event in human history. So I thought that was really interesting. He also
probably wiped out that entire tribe. That's entire genetic.
So no one knows like whether or not they lived or died. Like they just, did, or he at least didn't know whether or not they lived or died. But he also talked about how anybody who was sailing at that time sailed with an astronomer, because they used the planets to decide, like, whether or not the map was going to be accurate or what the fuck ever. So we talked about an astrolabe.
Yeah.
This fucking Arabic device that, like, that they carried around with them.
Tell me you Googled that thing.
Oh, you're goddamn right I did.
They're fucking trippy.
And that was on Monday that I did that. And so I'm sitting with my wife at the pussy doctor, right? And we're like waiting to go down for the ultrasound. And Jordan always asks me what I learned that day. She's like my mom in school. Like what did you learn today? And so I was telling her that I was listening to Neil deGrasse Tyson. She was like, well, like, what did you learn? And I said, oh, he was talking about this fucking astrolabe. And she said, what? And I was like, yeah. I was like, so check this out. And all I did was I just pulled up my internet and it was astrolabe. Like, that was the last thing I had looked up. So I was like, oh, I got a picture of it, and pulled it up. And she's like, oh my God. Yep. It's like, yeah. I was like, so it's this Arabic device that you plot like where the planets are, and you
helps navigate
where you need to go. Yeah. I was like, and that's insane that
for somebody to come up with that technology right now. Do you think could you do that?
If the world relied on me to figure out like how to get to another planet or like where the planets were, we would all die. There's no way. There is no way that.
Say, okay, the moon is right there. So I'm guessing, I don't know, let's go 45 degrees beforehand. Let's see, shoot straight up at it. Maybe we'll hit it.
I can guess what time it is based off of where the sun is, and I can, after about 5 seconds, tell you what fucking direction is which. But, like, I don't know, like, were it not for the indicator in my Land Rover, I wouldn't know which direction I was driving in. I don't know, like, that, but I could, like, have a discussion about like, oh, this is going to come from the west or what the fuck ever, because I can be like, oh, well, the sun is here and it rises in the east and sets in the west, and like, oh, so boom, this way, like it's 2:00 and that's where the sun is, so that's the west. Like, but that's just
you're
just,
fucking badass, dude.
That's just not me. So,
I've gotten a lot better at that lately since the job I do is
there's people upstairs.
I use a compass a lot, and so just kind of by being all around where the places I travel to and stuff throughout the day, and then actually having to whip out my compass to find which way's north and stuff, it's very popular. Just like Miss Jordan.
Are you guys also recording?
Yeah, we're recording.
Your video. I'm so sorry.
No,
okay.
You're always welcome onto the set.
Yeah, I got gifts.
So
I'll show you while you guys are recording. I'll show you this cute hat that Keitra got us. Shout out to Keitra.
Yeah.
Shout out to Keitra.
I told Colin on our way home that for some reason this whole time that you had been telling me about her, I thought that she was black. This whole time.
This is what Keitra got us.
That's cool
that is so adorable.
Show the world.
That is so adorable.
It's a football.
Fanatic.
Yes.
Yeah,
Did
man.
you hear what I said about Keitra?
Yeah, that's really funny. Not at all. I should stop giving all of our personal information away.
We don't know what her last name is, so just don't say that.
Okay.
She's the woman, the legend herself.
Yeah.
And that's it.
This is a cool hat.
And it is a dope hat, dude. It's a
Yeah.
football hat.
It is a football
For
hat.
those audio listeners, it's like a cool knitted football hat for a newborn.
Looks like a football.
It's amazing.
Yep. Perfect time for tomorrow. I'm excited.
Oh,
Is Shelby's birthday tomorrow, or we're just celebrating it tomorrow?
This
All
is
right.
a good. She's like,
Shelby, if
talking.
you're listening to this, I'm sorry. But yeah, that's what I learned from Neil deGrasse Tyson. He also talked about basketball. He said that like you can fit 2 basketballs through a basketball hoop at the same time.
I was like, no, that's
which
bullshit.
I didn't totally understand, but then he was like, so if you think about it, when you put one basketball through there's 4 times as much room as you need. And so when they jump from the free throw line and dunk it, it's really pretty impressive that they're still making it,
Yeah.
I'm like, whatever you say, dude.
That's just math
But
interfering with real life.
I also thought it was rad. He talked about Star Wars, the new Death Star, right? And he was like, because they said that it sucks up a star and then destroys like 8 planets at a time.
Yeah,
right?
so this is from Force Awakens.
Yeah. And he said, so I got really interested and I did the math. He said, and I figured out that if you took the energy from a star, you could destroy like 1,000 planets.
Yeah.
It's like, so you could have made it way cooler than it like already was, and it would have been awesome, but you just didn't do it because you didn't want to like have someone do the math. Which I was like, that's really funny.
Yeah, he gets upset at stuff in movies like that.
I think that's
Like,
I
he's
think
got that
as it
big
should
story.
be,
And I don't remember if it was the last show that he was on or this new one, but he talked about the time that James Cameron and him had
was this one,
Yeah, they changed the sky in the new version of Titanic because he saw the old one. He was like, wait, I know exactly where this was
Yeah.
and exactly when it happened. That's not the fucking sky that was there, bro. Get your shit together.
Yeah.
Oh, bro, man, he's trying to make a movie.
Well, and I think that that's important for people who really love movies and are like smart like that, because that type of shit can take you out of the experience. You know? And so I think that that's important, and I think it's worth, asking people about, because you don't have to. Most people, like I feel confident if we were making a movie about science or what some such shit, and we were like, man, I obviously are famous enough, but we're like, I just need to ask someone a question. I feel confident that we could call up Neil deGrasse Tyson and ask one question. He wouldn't be like, I need you to give me $5,000 and put my name on the credits of that film because you asked me a question.
No, he'd just do it so that
like just I really just want to get this done right. So like I really just wanted to know, if I'm gonna be in this particular place, what's the sky gonna look like? Yeah, how many planets can I destroy with the energy of one star? Like and he'll be like, that's really interesting. Give me like 5 days and I'll hit you back up.
That'd be so dope.
That would be fun for somebody like that to figure that out, because he obviously did it for himself in his own time personally to figure it out. So I just don't. Yeah.
All right, so when I make my first big budget film,
Yes.
I will make sure to consult Neil deGrasse Tyson if it is a historical period piece or a sci-fi piece in an existing galaxy that we know.
Well,
to make sure everything's legit.
There's somebody whose job it is to like do continuity checks, right? To like go back and watch it. So just let that be my job. And so I'll just watch it and be like, yeah, you need to ask somebody about that because I'm sure that there's some type of way this needs to be done.
You sit right next to my director's chair.
Yeah.
You'd be the continuity director.
Yeah, I'll just be a producer. You know what I'm saying? And I'll just be like, no, we need to check this shit. Like that doesn't look right. Like let me call somebody and I'm gonna make sure this is good and then we can move on. Shoot somebody else. Like that's cool.
Next scene. I'll get back to you.
Yeah.
It's like, dude. Don G, you just cost me like $100,000 here, bro. We can't just cut the scene right now. Like, well, whatever. Hang some green curtains back there. There's no sky right now. We gotta figure the sky out. If only one day, my friend.
One day.
Yeah, I don't really remember there was not too much, I don't think, that stood out during that Neil deGrasse Tyson episode for me. I will just say that every episode with Neil deGrasse Tyson is fantastic, and I learned so much. Like I told you, we went to a planetarium in New York, his planetarium in New York, and watched that space thing about dark energy and dark matter. He narrated the whole thing, and I was like elated. Elated? Yeah, that's a good word, right?
Yeah.
There we go.
Yeah.
Word. But Elon Musk, I wanted to talk about.
Yeah.
Just because, I mean, there's a whole lot there,
Larry
man.
Sharpe.
They talked about, first of all, let's talk about the timing. How weird was it that Joe did a live show? Because he always does his shows live. He airs the live stream live, obviously. And
the live streams are live.
We're live on the live stream. But he did it like, it was like at 6:30 or 7:30 or something like that at night.
Sorry.
No, that's all right. Touch your baby.
I want to touch my son.
Oh, man. Touch Dax.
Yep.
What's up, Dax? Okay, no crying,
tell
guys.
Everyone that's what his name is.
Yes.
Oh yeah. I just you got to do all these. I bet you. Are you like doing like a ton of like stretches and all this stuff because you get so fucking tight and muscly?
I should be.
Oh, word. We'll get you doing some pregnancy yoga.
I do a little bit of yoga. Donovan massages my back a lot, which is my back and my feet, which is amazing.
Best husband ever.
Seriously, I couldn't even tell you. It's a laundry list of why he's the best.
Boom.
Rubbing my feet and my back are just right at the top, though.
There you go.
All right.
Okay.
I love
Thank you.
Always. I just can't. Last week after the show, I felt. I think it was his head or
something.
Dude, that was fucking trippy.
Yeah.
That shit is...
It's a weird deal.
I'm trying to get ready, trying to get my mindset ready because this is all going to happen real soon.
Eventually you're going to see him move.
Oh, boy.
Her belly. Yeah.
That's a trip.
Like when you can like poke on him and he'll like...
He's in there just doing fucking swimming around like, what's going on, man?
Yeah. Yeah, so Elon Musk was cool. It was odd timing because he did it at 9:30 at night.
9:30. Okay.
Which, I mean, he's got a family and shit, so he likes to do it. I got that for the dog today. It's a bone. And so,
but I mean, when you got somebody like Elon, if you got somebody like Elon Musk, you just gonna make time.
Yeah.
Whenever he can have time, you're gonna be there.
Right. Brought his not a flamethrower because it's not a flamethrower.
It's definitely not a flamethrower.
Yeah. He said it's a roofing torch that just has like a cover on it that looks like a gun, and that's how he did that.
He just made a flamethrower. Yeah. That's not a flamethrower.
Then sold it for $20,000 a piece. I think
$5,000.
$5,000, 20,000 of them. That's what it was.
Yeah, it was because he went over it. They did the same thing, I guess, with hats a while back. And I don't remember if it was SpaceX hats or
the Boring Company.
Boring Company.
Boring.
So it's the same thing for that company.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was like a X number amount of hats at whatever price for $1 million.
Yeah.
And then this one was, well, let's make $10 million. And so they did, well, what can we do for that one? Well, we'll make 20,000 flamethrowers. It cost $5,000 a piece. And
right.
I think they pre-sold out in
4 days.
Like that. 4 days.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a fundraiser, man. That's a fundraiser. That's what that is. And that's an amazing fundraiser.
Smoked weed on the podcast.
Which was a huge fucking deal, apparently.
Huge controversy.
Which he didn't even inhale. For us smokers, I was like, oh, yo, he didn't even really smoke. Come on.
But, yeah. He made a funny face afterwards.
Yeah, dude. It has been memed 1,000 times over now, and I got to tell you, it might be the perfect meme.
Oh, it's great.
It's fucking fantastic.
It's great. That's definitely a pop culture thing.
Yeah.
The Elon Musk meme is fantastic.
Oh, dude. But did you see like SpaceX stock dropped? Or Tesla stock dropped, I think, after that.
Fucking bullshit.
A couple executives left. And
why has anybody questioned that he ever smoked weed? I mean, he said that he didn't do it a lot, but I tweeted after that, like, was there seriously a question ever that Elon Musk smoked weed? Like, he's like, let me dig a fucking tunnel underneath LA so we can drive in it.
Or as he calls it, a pit. I mean, we're just going to dig a pit.
Yeah, and I'm sure that...
How many times do I got to tell you?
I'm sure
dig a pit.
Maybe he's not the first person to have that idea, but he's the first person to do it.
Yeah.
So I just don't. He's like, let me make a car that's like all electric, but I also want it to be fast as shit, and I want it to like really go hard if you wanted to.
I want it to be a good car.
Yeah, and I want it to drive itself, and I want it to do this, and I also want it to do this. And he said in there that you get your car to fucking dance. If you like download a certain app, that you can get your car to fucking dance. Like I don't.
Yeah. I didn't. That's the one thing I didn't realize that I found out during that interview is that these Teslas, at least the new model Teslas, or anyways, they have all this programming involved that like there's all these Easter eggs inside of your car that you can make it do.
Yeah.
Like this is not a car like you think of. This is a computer that drives you places.
Right.
What the fuck? I want one of those things,
It's
man.
a weird deal.
And, he got so much shit for that smoking weed thing. And it really, it did a disservice to what he actually said on the podcast. I mean, they talked about AI and virtual reality and simulations and love. Love was a big one.
Love is the key.
I think it was this is the first time I've seen him in a long form interview. He's had some TED Talks that are like an hour plus, but it's him answering it's a very different style. It's not a real organic conversation like I think he had this time.
Yeah.
And, I think it took him a little while to get warmed up because he was a little almost standoffish in the beginning. Mm-hmm. But there was a question I did want to ask you after listening to that. And that was,
ask me.
He didn't talk about his controversy with the New Zealand rescue diver guy.
Calling the guy pedophile.
Yeah. And I understand why, especially because there's a million other things that are more important to talk about with Elon Musk.
Yeah.
Than just this thing. And I was actually kind of surprised that I didn't hear many. I thought it would be bigger news that he didn't talk about that. And I thought people were going to be giving him shit, but I'm glad they didn't. But it was something I was worried about when I was listening to it.
I think that maybe, right, with the president that we have now, smoking weed is a bigger deal than throwing some fucking accusation at somebody that is obviously baseless, possible. Just to try and slander them. Like
we're all fucking gun shy after this.
Yeah.
Or, not gun shy. You know what I mean? We're all numb to it by now.
Desensitized. Yeah, no, I don't think that it's I'm sorry, my cat's going to take a shit. But
it's going to be delicious.
I don't know. I think that that's a really strange deal.
Yeah.
But I think it's different. And maybe, again, this is especially because it was on the internet. There's a difference between like calling somebody a name and like saying this guy fucks kids. Like that's, I know that he molests children.
Yeah.
And, he's a pedophile. Like, and just being like, whatever, fucking, pedophile. Like, and that doesn't make it cool because that's like a really shitty thing to say to somebody. But he didn't, didn't come out and wasn't like that. I saw that guy lure a child into his home. Like,
he did have a follow-up later on, like a week after that thing happened or 2 weeks after, where he had accused him of having like a 12-year-old child bride and stuff like that because he's an expat, I guess.
Yeah.
And I mean, whatever, bro. If he's in Vietnam or Thailand or something and he's a New Zealand expat or something like that, I mean, say what you want about it, but if the law in Thailand is you can have a 12-year-old bride, then that's the fucked up law in Thailand. The law
that he's abiding there.
But I don't know. But that's the other thing. Like you said, I don't really give a fuck about what he's accusations are and all. Maybe it's prejudice, maybe it's bias, whatever. But the dude has a whole lot more important things that are going on than that.
Yeah.
Motherfucker sent his car to Mars. Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Just saying. You know, how important is, you know, companies like SpaceX and now the other companies that have kind of gotten into the fold with that, Amazon, I think, or Google or somebody. I know it's Joe Rogan. It's kind of kickstarted NASA a little bit. There's been a lot more talk in NASA now about trying to do some more space operations and using SpaceX to, you know, further their endeavors.
I don't know.
I think he takes a lot of
space.
He takes a lot of contracts for NASA and stuff because it's much cheaper for him to launch a rocket than it is for NASA to launch a rocket.
He brings back his pieces.
His what?
His pieces. He brings back the pieces.
Oh yeah, he brings back.
Doesn't just drop them in space.
Launch a rocket, drop what you need to, and then you get back, and then you can refit. You know, it's like a fucking airplane.
Yeah. Hey.
And
Stop it.
She's like, I want to scratch the ball, Dad. I got shit in my paws, man.
It's annoying. This cat's super annoying.
But yeah, I mean, it was a good cast. I love it, man.
Yeah.
And you can basically never really go wrong with Joe Rogan podcast. There's always Larry Sharpe.
What you got on Larry Sharpe?
I got a lot on Larry Sharpe.
You want to talk about education first? Because that was my biggest beef with Larry Sharpe.
Yeah, my biggest beef with Larry Sharpe was the fact that I understand what he was trying to say because I speak libertarian, but I think he did a piss poor job of explaining it. And I mentioned it a little bit in my dissent a couple weeks ago because that's when I asked that question. Is a good idea poorly explained still a good idea?
Yeah.
Because you know, you've turned the public's opinion of that idea to something shitty because you explained it shitty. And I think a lot of it had to do with just he's a New Yorker and he talks like a New Yorker. He's very fast talking. He's very he can kind of jump on your words a little bit, and you know, there's just a way of talking in New York.
He ended up
in the city
being super duper arrogant, is what I thought.
That's how he came out. Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's just the way they talk.
And the beef that I had, I think, right, is that
the education system.
Well, that was it. But like my general one is I think that my problem generally with libertarianism, right, is that it relies on like most people to like do the right thing, you know? This country has shown me time and time again that like the people that are currently in power do not do the right thing. Like there's scores of people that do not do the right thing. So I don't trust those people to make the right decision just because we're giving them the freedom to make the right decision instead of enforcing them to do the right thing. You know, I just don't. Some people will, you know, but I don't buy that, you know? And so when he's, for example, when he's talking about the education system, you know, it's like, well, we're going to give them less money and they'll have to take the money out of their budget from somewhere. And so they'll realize that there's too many administrators and then they'll just fire all the administrators and pay, you know, the teachers more money. I'm like, well, that's cool, but the teachers are having to strike right now and not go to work so they can get more money. So why the fuck would I think that they would be the priority just because you're going to start giving them less money? And he's like, oh, well, I'm not going to just not do it, right? Because that's what he would say is, well, I'm not going to just not just give them less money and not say anything. I'm going to, you know, guide them and do this. But then when Joe asks about specifics, he's like, oh, well, I'm this far out. It's unreasonable for you to ask me to have a specific plan about what I'm going to do because I'm this far away. Fuck you. It's unreasonable for me to ask about a specific plan when you're telling me you're going to take $4 billion out of your local education system.
Yes.
That's ridiculous.
Okay. So let me fucking tell you. Let me translate that to you from poorly speaking libertarian speak to normal people terms. So his view on the education system in the state of New York is that the system is broken. They continue to just throw more money at it,
yes,
which is very typical. And that money is not used properly because the school board and the administrators that are in power use that generally to enrich themselves, and they create a better, you know, a bigger bureaucracy and administration behind the school. Often, and in most cases, leaving the teachers high and dry. That's why teachers are always fucking striking, because yes, in some states, teachers do make a good amount of money, but it's usually in certain counties they're usually very affluent counties. But for the most part, teachers nationwide, and I'm going to assume worldwide, are probably vastly underpaid.
Yes.
Especially considering the importance of their job. And so his idea is to essentially give the teachers more power. And this is what the point I know, because I know the model he's talking about. And the point he failed to bring up because of the way he talks is the fact that he would be essentially stripping some power away from the administrators and away from, say, like the power of the school board, who is nothing but administrators. I used to go to school board meetings when I was in high school for a video class. We'd have to film them. And good God, it's just a bunch of fucking politicians, essentially. Local people that are wanting to be politicians. It's disgusting.
Yeah.
But instead of having them have all the say in where the money goes, the teachers would be given enough power to be able to say, hey, no, we need the money down here. Otherwise, we can't teach these kids anymore. You know, teachers are always having to go out and buy their own fucking school supplies. Should never be a fucking issue. We need bigger schools with more classrooms, so you have less kids in each classroom. You'll have to hire more teachers, which means you're going to have to cut back on administrators. I'm sure that the teachers will be willing to pick up a little bit more of the load administratively if they were able to teach the way they thought they could. And that kind of went into the second point. By having when he talks about stripping $4 billion out of that education system, I think it was a $60 billion budget, and he'd be stripping $4 billion away from that. And that $4 billion is the federal assistance from the U.S. government. All the other part would be there. That's fine. That's all stuff that comes from the state taxation and everything like that. It's the normal government income ways. So he'd be saying, you guys need to survive without that federal income. But now that we no longer are on the hook, we're not sucking off the tit of the federal government for that $4 billion. We don't have to do all these stupid standardized testings to continue to get our funding.
Yeah.
We can stop that, and we don't have to start teaching to that fucking test anymore. The teachers can teach the way they want to teach, the way they know is best to teach. And in every single school district, the teachers are going to be the ones that best know how to teach their students. So he's essentially giving the teachers more power and more say because they are the ones that should be running the school. And then having the administrators take their proper place and just sit in the background and run the bureaucracy, make sure the school facility is running the way it should be. They shouldn't be dictating the curriculum based off of passing some fucking test.
Right.
That's essentially what he wants to do. And so then he says, okay, as governor, I'm going to facilitate all this. So in other words, I don't know the answer to how they're going to fix it because the teachers know how to fix it. The administrators that really care know how to fix it. And I'm going to give them the power to allow them to fix it. And if we need to bring in more money from elsewhere, you know, he said that we can look at other means of funding to try to get some of that money back. But I guarantee you there'd be a massive cut down in the bureaucracy that it isn't needed, especially considering you don't have to take that fucking standardized test anymore. That's a huge cost already.
Which I can accept that that's what you're saying, but only half of that is what he actually said.
I know. That's my problem with him.
It's not right that you know what I'm saying? I should not have to infer so much information from something that somebody's saying. And that's why I was so upset with that. Is the fact that I think he did a poor job explaining that. And when Joe started that podcast, he prefaced it by saying, hey, before we get started, I just want to let you know, I like you. I'm a fan of what you're doing, man. You know, and I'm a fan of the way he talks because in his other speeches and stuff like that, he doesn't bury himself like he did on this one. When he kept acting like Joe was attacking him when he's just asking questions. And he's like, well, that's because you're a liberal. You're a liberal. Like all this. Like, you just don't get it. You're a liberal. Like, what the fuck are you even talking about? Like,
because he's from the Bronx.
I don't like that it's...
I know.
That doesn't mean shit to me. Like that, you know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
It doesn't...
But the people in the Bronx speak his language. I speak his language because I lived in New York City long enough. And I speak libertarian, so I can take his shitty explanations and actually portray what he intends to do. But anyways, that really frustrated me. I had a really hard time listening to that I had to listen to that podcast, I think, over the course of a week, because I could listen to a little bit at a time, and I said, okay, Larry, I can't do this anymore. Joe's trying. Joe is trying his damnedest to try to get him to explain what he's doing.
Shit didn't make any sense.
Couldn't pick up on it.
Yeah.
And it was incredibly frustrating. But then he went on, and he kind of touched a couple things, some more standard libertarian value stuff. He likes to refer to Andrew Cuomo as Emperor Cuomo, the royal family, which, again, it's lost on non-New Yorkers. I understand it because I'm half New Yorker, part New Yorker. I've still, to this day, I've spent more time in New York in my adult life than I have here.
Still up until this point?
Yeah, up until this point. I got another 4 years, I think. But, so I understand what he's doing. But, again, it's just driving me up a wall because he needs to be better than that. If you're going to run for governor and try to overthrow Andrew Cuomo, the emperor god of New York State, you need to be better than him. And he's not right now. Unfortunately. I'm good. Thank you, though.
Yeah, all right.
I might take it. Okay, I'll take it. It'll be all right. If I need to hang out a little afterwards, I'll hang out.
We could hang out.
Take a little nappy poo.
Godfather and Dax, you can hang out.
There you go. That is good, though.
Yeah.
So let's talk about privatizing the bridges in New York. The idea of privatizing a bridge, like you privatize a stadium.
Yes.
State quits paying for that shit.
Yeah.
You save a ton of money right there.
And I did not hate it. But
it's an interesting idea.
Yes. Big companies just scare me. Big companies scare me as much as big government scares me. I feel the same type of way about that any body, especially monetarily, that gets too big has too much influence, and that's not a good thing. And so
that's the way I
just fear things like that.
The way he talked about doing it was leasing these things. Just like you do on a stadium again. You have a 10-year lease on this bridge. And for 10 years, or however long you pay your contract, you pay the amount, that says in the contract.
Millions of
dollars. You can fucking paint that bridge whatever color you want. You could do it like whatever you want. You can advertise on that. It's your bridge to do. Now, here are the list of required maintenance schedules and things that have to be done and tests that need to be done.
And no tolls.
And no tolls. Well,
Yeah.
they can toll whatever the fuck they want.
Well, I guess.
I think.
If they have the lease on the bridge.
If they have the lease.
But the idea is to get rid of the tolls, right?
That is the idea.
So then it would have to be part of the lease that they don't toll, that they do their own thing. Because the jam is, the way he explained it would be advertising would be a huge amount of what they're benefiting from it. Was that you're
I don't think that would
they're
fly.
investing in the area.
I think at some point you would have to have some kind of way for this company
then you're being
to
told just
generate
not by
income.
the state. Yeah, but then you're being told just not by the state.
Yeah.
And it seems
and if people
to me
don't like it and they don't go that way, because there's other ways to go. It's just that way's quicker, but you got to pay for it. People don't go that way. They won't make money on it. Someone else will come in. Maybe they'll realize, or they'll just realize, hey, this advertising's good enough. It's a free market decision, and the only way to tell whether it would work is to let it happen.
Yeah.
And so I wouldn't have a problem with that as long as, like I said, there's some kind of, and I hate doing this, but because the libertarian inside me is screaming, but as long as you have some form of regulation that states...
That's what I was just going to say. Is that
because a bridge is a fucking bridge. It's very important.
Yeah, that's what I was just going to say, is that it
Safety-wise,
makes me concerned that even with as libertarian as the idea is that if the free market version doesn't work out, if all those companies are like, fuck it, you got to pay $10 to go either way, and that's how it is, then the state then has to put in some type of regulatory body. That's
I like how you said $10. That's cute.
That's
$10 for New York is a fucking steal.
Well, it's like 10 per axle or some shit like that. I don't know. Yeah. So
Verrazano is 10 per axle. It's $20 every time I go over that fucking bridge.
So that's just the number that I hear. It's like $7 or something like that. Which is, it started at like $4, I think, maybe a little less than that, and it's worked all the way up to like $7.
Yeah,
and
it's funny because I still am like, oh yeah, whatever, that's normal. That's still pretty cheap for me.
Well, and it's, I mean, not for us because it was only supposed, the same idea with you guys. It was only supposed to pay off the bridge, and now we're like, well, but why does it keep going up?
It's
like,
because I'm making tons of fucking money on it.
Yeah,
and they're making. Excuse me, I don't know if I even mentioned this when I was talking about my trip. There are no more toll booths on the Verrazano Bridge. There's no more toll booths in the city of New York.
you just have to have a little pass thing.
Yeah, it's all
so
cameras
irritating.
or you get a pass. And so if you don't have a pass, you just roll through and they send you your bill in the mail. Boom.
That's terrible.
That, I mean, as when you don't have a choice and that's the only way to live is to go through those fucking toll booths, that is a godsend.
Yeah.
It is dope just to be able to sail through, bro. Because Easy Pass is what we call it over there. We have Good to Go over here, I think. Easy Pass is just a way of life. It's part of owning a car in the city. That's life over there.
Yeah.
You know, it's hard for us to understand because that just sounds terrible. Every time you get in your car and you want to drive to Queens and you live on Staten Island, you got to pay $20. Just go over a fucking bridge. 13 miles. That's all I need to go. I'm going to spend more in tolls 3 times over than I will in gas.
That's crazy.
But that's just life.
That's horrible.
Yeah. But imagine that going away. Can you imagine?
I forgot to tell you the Ducks scored another touchdown.
Yeah.
Like a couple minutes ago, and they're about to again.
Get them.
Yeah. It's 28-6, I think, now.
28-6.
Yeah.
I'm surprised you can see that at that angle.
Yeah.
It's pretty good.
I got just the right angle.
Just the right view.
Yeah.
Perfect.
So I didn't hate Larry Sharpe, but there was some shit that like he did not present himself well.
Nope.
Especially to a Joe Rogan audience of millions, you know, not just to people who live in New York. You're trying to spread your word to everybody. And somebody who lives in Washington that I also talk fast because apparently that's a thing that people from Washington talk fast.
Really?
I've heard
Interesting.
that like everywhere I've gone, not New York because I've never been to New York, but everywhere else I've traveled for the people from up here also talk fast. So maybe
That's interesting.
It's a northern.
I've never
United
picked that up
States
from you though. But that's fine. Maybe I could be an odd one down too.
Well, when we smoke a lot of pot together, so
that probably chills things out a
and
little
when
bit.
you got to think more about like when I get fucking heated up, you know. Like,
yes,
I start going like so. I
yes,
think
you do.
that's probably more.
You get very passionate about what's going on up here.
Yeah, so I think that's more what people talk about, but. I don't think he presented himself well to a broad audience like he was trying to appeal to. He doesn't spread the message of libertarianism very well.
Better than some.
Better than most.
Better than most
Better
so
than
far.
Jason Stapleton. But
he's not a fucking libertarian.
Yeah.
He's more of an ANCAP in my mind. He just doesn't know it yet. ANCAP
just doesn't know it yet.
Yeah. He won't accept it. But there was what was I gonna say? Yeah, I can't remember. Shit. Something about libertarians. Oh, the really interesting part. Given his podcast, just
Jason
set that
Stapleton?
aside. No. Larry Sharpe.
Oh, okay.
His metrics behind trying to win the gubernatorial race are pretty spot on. When you look, he says, and I need to fact check these numbers, but I know it's in the ballpark. He says 70% of New Yorkers didn't vote last election. And it's historically been that way. New Yorkers generally don't vote very often. We go into all day why that might be. Because, I mean, when you have a Manhattan, it's hard to kind of overrule Manhattan.
Right.
Because the vast majority, square footage-wise, of New York is not Democrat. You get upstate, where all the rest of New York is, man, that's Trump land hardcore.
Yeah.
But not enough people. But anyways, he said if he can get a certain percentage, and it wasn't, if he can turn around like 10% of that 70% of voters that didn't vote, he will win. Because that amount is more than people that have already voted for Andrew Cuomo. But
that's a lot of ask.
I don't know. I mean, we'll just have to see.
That's a lot of ask to motivate 10% of people.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
But I mean, his message is just one of whatever this isn't working. People are leaving New York. You know, he was talking about halfbacks, New Yorkers that leave and then go to Florida and then realize, fuck Florida and all the goddamn hurricanes, and then they end up in like North and South Carolina.
Yeah.
Those are New Yorkers called halfbacks because they made it halfway back.
And you've heard that term before?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's a regular term. And then you'll notice driving around at least Long Island and New York City and stuff, there are just as many, if not more, Florida state plates on people's cars
Really?
than there are New York plates.
That's really interesting.
Because the regulations are a lot different down there, too. But anyways, I really resonated with that podcast because, for one, I have those libertarian values.
A lot of those views.
Yeah, and I just got really upset because I thought he did a shit job trying to explain it.
He certainly did.
And, and it's the one, like, he's not wrong when he talks about the numbers and how it could be easy as long as he gets out there and speaks to people that don't vote. If he can get them motivated enough to come out and see him at a show, they will go vote. And they might vote libertarian.
Yeah.
And he may get a chance to get into debates, which I don't know when they are or how that works in New York. I know they just had the Democratic primary debates, and Cuomo just destroyed his opposition. But I don't know how that works for the regular.
City.
Yeah, that did not go well, man. He fucking rolled a train on her. He's a professional, I'll give him that. But anyways, if a libertarian won a gubernatorial, yeah, if they won a race for a state governorship, that's, I think, pretty big, especially for New York. It's one thing if it's New Mexico, like Gary Johnson.
Yeah.
But for New York State, that would be a big win. And I think especially if you could actually implement some of those programs on the state level like that. And if they were fucking successful, which, as a libertarian, of course, I believe they will be, that would open up people's minds a lot more, I think. But anyway, that's just me. So we can move on, if you would like.
Yep. Sports?
It's good because I got to pee real quick.
Okay.
So maybe, I need injury reports and stuff too. I better be quick.
Well, let's see. The Ducks won last week. We talked about that. The Ducks are winning right now against San Jose State, 28-6. Is that what that says, baby? 28-6. Yep. All these 3 games have been jokes. So next week we'll play Stanford, who is ranked number 9 right now. And then we'll see what happens then. I'm not sure exactly what time we play them next week, but we'll probably be recording for that too. So I'll be paying attention to that. Millie, stay away from the bathroom. The Hawks don't play until Monday. Play the Bears. 5:15. It's going to be good. Khalil Mack just got onto that team. That's going to be really unfortunate. But it's going to be nasty. Doug Baldwin gone. Richard Scher, nope. What am I saying? Brandon Marshall.
Richard Scher, nope.
No, Tyler Lockett. So it's going to be a whole deal. So let's see. I'm ready to go to... Oh, let's do my fucking picks, Colin. Let's do that.
Yeah.
Let's do the pick'ems first. Okay. So...
I got to get my fantasy stuff up. Ready to go.
Okay. So I picked the Ravens the other night, and I lost. So the first one is Texans-Titans, and the Texans are favored 80% to 20%. I don't know whether or not Mariota's going to play. I'm gonna go Texans. The next game is Steelers-Chiefs, and it is Chiefs at Steelers. Steelers are favored 60-40. The
Big Ben only put up 9 points like
home. I'm going Steelers because they're at home. The next one, Eagles-Bucks, and the Eagles are the away team, but they're 83-17. Oh, Ryan Fitzpatrick last week, though.
Fire.
Touchdowns.
I know.
Babe, is Deshaun Jackson playing this week? Do you know? You don't know?
Phone a friend.
That's important, whether or not Deshaun Jackson plays. I gotta stick with the Eagles. Next one is Chargers-Bills. Chargers are definitely going to win that game. The next one is Panthers-Falcons.
Jordan said that was his return was doubtful, I think.
Yes.
Questionable.
Will you click on them and see what it says on there? Some hot news or something? The next one is Falcons-Panthers. I'm going Falcons.
He's expected to clear concussion protocol and play on Sunday.
Damn. I don't know if I like that. Because I got Like I told you, we got to talk about fantasy.
That's really tough.
We'll be able to hash that out a little later when I ask you my question.
Okay. The next one is Colts Redskins. The Redskins are definitely going to win that. The Colts defense is trash. The next one is Browns Saints.
I think Saints.
Saints are favored 94%.
But do you believe in the Browns? Tyrod. Can Tyrod bring him?
I believe that the Saints defense looked like trash last week and got 5 fucking teeters scored on them, and that's what I'm saying. But
that's so... See, that complicates my situation even more. Dude, what's he going to do? It's 50-50. He's going with the Saints for now.
Saints. Okay. The next one is Vikings Packers. Aaron Rodgers is going to play this week.
Aaron Rodgers is always money.
Is going to win. The next one is Dolphins Jets.
That's a toss-up. God, what do you do about that situation?
Man.
I don't have any players on the Dolphins or the Jets, thank goodness.
I'm going to go with the Jets. And the next one is Lions 49ers. They're both 0-1. 49ers,
Lions.
86%. I'm thinking Lions too.
Yeah, I'm thinking Lions on that one.
The next one is Cardinals Rams. Oh, the Rams. Rams are taking it. The next one is Raiders Broncos.
Ooh, Broncos? The Raiders played like they did last week.
Yeah, Broncos. The next one is Pats Jaguars. I think the Pats are going to win. Man, I just don't see... Blake Bortles is so shitty at quarterback that... And Leonard Fournette is not playing this week. TJ Yeldon is playing.
Maybe they should pick up Magoo, start him.
Magoo. So I'll go with Pats. That sucks.
Yeah, you hate to, but you have to.
Yeah.
Oh, somebody's calling you.
My grandma's calling me.
Oh, no. Don't do it.
Okay.
Don't bring her on the cast. Don't do that to her.
I won't. She'll leave me a voicemail. I'm sorry, Grandma. That was tough decision.
I was like, you can't bring her on the cast.
No. The next one is Giants Cowboys. I'm going to go with Giants. I'm going with Giants.
Yeah, I'd go Giants.
And then the last one is Seahawks Bears.
Is it bad that I think that's a toss-up? I think Hawks.
Yeah. They are not favored, 28% to 72%. And then the tiebreaker, I always put 56.
56.
Always.
So that's the total number of points scored?
Number of points, which I don't even know how likely that is. That's just always the number that I put in there. So, boom. Saved him.
So
we just did our first round of pick'ems for week 2 for my work league. There you go, everybody. If you think that was shitty, leave me a motherfucking comment, and we will talk about it.
Yeah, we'll hash it out.
Yep. So let's go to regular sports now. And so, let's see. I only have like 3 things for regular NFL, then I have some injury shit. David Johnson signed a 3-year, $39 million contract with 30 guaranteed. He's a running back for the Cardinals. The Patriots signed Corey Coleman. I don't know if you remember last week, but I said Corey Coleman would have a job by the time that the podcast dropped, and the Pats signed Corey Coleman like on Monday. Yeah, they don't have no fucking receivers out there. So they picked up Corey Coleman. And then the Seahawks signed Michael Kendrick, who is... He played for the Eagles last year when they won the Super Bowl and then was on the Browns. And then we talked about him 2 weeks ago, I think, because he pled guilty to insider trading.
Yes.
And then got cut from the Browns. And now the Seahawks picked him up and he's going to play on Monday. Yeah.
Probably got that discount deal.
Yeah.
He's tainted goods. He's cheap. We'll get him.
Yeah. He's going to play on Monday.
Wow.
I'm really excited for that. Well, KJ Wright and Bobby Wagner both out this week.
So brother not going to go to jail.
His sentencing is not for like another couple weeks, I don't think.
Oh boy.
So we don't know yet.
Let's get one W out of him before he goes off to jail.
So
wow.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Yes. So I'll keep an eye on that. That's all I have for regular news, and now we're into injuries, right? Delaney Walker, tight end for the Titans, broke his ankle. He's out all fucking year. Tight end Greg Olsen, right? He fucked up his foot. He had a surgery last year where they put a screw in it and then it broke. And so now they have to do another whole thing. He's going to be out for a couple weeks. Doug Baldwin, he's got a grade 2 MCL sprain. So he's going to be out for a couple weeks. Running back Jeremy Hill for the Pats towards the ACL. He's out all year. Falcons linebacker Deion Jones was placed on IR, so he's out for like 8 weeks. And then the Bengals running back Joe Mixon, he's out for a couple weeks because he fucked up his knee in Thursday night's game, and he has to have arthroscopic surgery, so he'll be out for 2 to 4 weeks. So that's what I have as far as injury news. Let's hear what you have. This week I'm playing Boston Casey. He's who I'm playing in fantasy.
Mr. 210 himself?
Yeah.
That dude put up so many fucking points. It's unbelievable.
Balled out last week?
Yeah.
So
I remember we were over at Jake and Morgan's to watch the game last weekend, and she was not excited about her fantasy team's performance.
that was Case Bowles that put up 210. I'm playing.
Oh, you're playing Boston?
Boston Casey.
Oh, okay. I thought you said Case Bowles. My bad.
His team took.
Well, Case Bowles, I know you're listening. So
Case Bowles went the fuck
I hate your face.
off last
210.
week.
You just know.
Yeah, because Case Bowles had Patty Mahomes, who threw 256 yards and 4 touchdowns. Joe Mixon, who ran for 95 and a touchdown. James Conner, who had 33 points. Randall Cobb had 30 points. Mike Evans had 28 points. Juju Smith had 16, almost 17. Balled out. So.
If it wasn't for Case Bowles, I would not be just number one in my division right now. I'd be number one in the league, Case Bowles. Yeah. So I'm going to find you, and I'm going to bring a baseball bat to all your players' knees.
Yeah. Oh, just for the record, I did in fact beat my wife last week because it was under serious controversy.
It was.
But it did happen. I did not feel great about it, but it did happen. I even lost Delaney Walker, and it still happened. But we're not going to talk about that. This week, like I said, I'm playing Boston Casey. So we'll see.
He did all right last week, didn't he?
No, his team took dump on him last week. But he looks all right this week. But he's got 8 points up on me right now because he had Justin Tucker that went on Thursday. But I got Alex Smith going to Indianapolis. I got Melvin Gordon playing Buffalo. I picked up TJ Eldon. I got Larry Fitz. I got fucking Jarvis Landry. I picked up Greg Olson's backup. I'm going to see if I can give him a run. I got Deion Lewis. I got crazy shit going on out here. So it's going to be a whole motherfucking jam.
Yeah.
But
I'm trying real hard to hold on to my lead. So my 1 point lead.
Yeah. So what questions do you have?
So what
do you got?
I dropped.
Who are you playing this week?
I'm playing who is it? Lacey?
You're playing Lacey.
Yeah.
Lacey's got a good team.
Yeah, she does. And I'm worried because she won the spot last
year. Yep.
And so, but I'm in a debate whether or not to throw Tyrod Taylor in my spot or throw in my backup quarterback, who is currently on the field. I haven't taken him off yet, Ryan Fitzpatrick. I picked him up when I dropped Big Ben. He put up some money last week.
Yes.
He was number one in I don't know what you call that, the waiver. Why? I don't know what that is.
Yeah.
But somehow or other, I claimed him. I got him. I dropped Big Ben, and now I'm starting him.
Yeah.
And I just don't know if that was a fluke last week or if he's going to be solid.
Ryan Fitzpatrick said that he feels the best he's ever felt in his life. He has shown capability to do shit like that before. Like, he has not always been completely incapable. He has also thrown 5 picks in a game before, so I have also seen that, but it's evident that he's still capable of that, provided the opportunity. And the Saints were that team this week. Who is he playing this week?
Fitzpatrick?
Yeah.
I think he's playing the Eagles.
The Eagles.
Yeah, because we were just talking about.
Yes, and Julio had fucking like 10 catches against the Eagles. So like they're a good defense, but they can be beat also. So it's possible.
Yeah,
it's possible.
You don't think it was a bad idea? I just right now, because Tyrod, I think he's a solid. He's solid points, but it's solid mid-tier points at best.
Yes.
Right. He's a solid pick, but if I can get some big numbers, that would be, especially because I'm playing Lacey.
Well, and Big Ben was only shitty because the home road splits for Big Ben that's like a huge thing. Like when he's away, he plays terrible. When he's at home, he plays really good. Yeah. So now that he's at home this week, I might have played Big Ben. But if you're looking, obviously, like we saw last week, Ryan Fitzpatrick has serious like boom potential, you know.
I mean, you click on his profile on the app, you know, and you start reading it. It's like, dude, this dude is on fire right now.
Yeah. So, I mean,
I'll roll the dice on it.
Yeah,
maybe.
and that's what it is. It is totally a dice roll because, like I said, last week he did it. Like last week he put up numbers, and
we only have 1 week to look at.
He's been around long enough that if he can find holes in the Eagles' defense and take advantage of that with Mike Evans, if Deshaun Jackson is playing again, then I think that there's potential for him to put up some major points. I think that's fully possible.
We'll hope so. I'm trying to go back to my matchup. That's what it is. Right now in projections, 151.6 for me and 135.5 for Lacey. But projections are just projections, and they can be shoddy as hell. Right. So we'll see.
But it's nice to have a little lead like that.
Yeah, and I think all of our players play on Sundays. Or on Sunday. So I won't have a stressful Monday.
It's nice sometimes for it to be done on Sunday, but...
Because fucking Isaiah, Third and Brooks himself, put me through the ringer on Monday, man. It was back and forth. I was stressing.
He's going to talk shit in the comments.
I hope so.
He is.
But because I talked a little shit on the, you know how in the app you can text just to the matchup.
Yeah,
and I was like, I'd say good luck, but you know. And then I was way ahead, and then Monday rolled around, and I looked. He still had I don't remember. I think it was a running back, 2 wide receivers, or something like that. He had some good players, and I had a defense and a kicker, and a running back.
You're like, fuck.
So it got a little dicey there. I stayed up and watched the Oakland game in bed on my phone on fucking Sling TV because I was like, come on, man.
That's terrible.
But yeah, word. That's my fantasy talk.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I think that's good. I think that, like I said, it is certainly a risk, but it's
not a terrible move.
No, it's possible. It's totally possible, especially if you need a fucking big bang. So
we'll roll the dice, baby. Yeah. I'm excited.
So
word.
Yeah.
So you feel happy about? You feel relatively confident for your guys this week?
Yes. Yeah, I have a lot of really good matchups that I think those guys will be ready to take advantage of. So I'm ready.
I'm excited. Well, I hope since you're in my division, right? I think we're in the same division.
I don't know.
I gotta look that up real quick because I want to see. I think me and you are in the same division.
Yeah.
No offense, but I hope you do terrible. And that way I won't have to ever face you during a playoff game. That matters. Hope you get knocked out early because I don't want to be in competition with you because you're way ahead of me in this fucking game. Right? I don't understand half of this shit. I play the little I know. I don't want to come up against that kind of heat. I
got you. Yeah. Well, Morgan fucking kicked me out last year, first round, so... I'm obviously able to be beaten. It just depends on the matchups that week.
See, that doesn't give me much confidence either, because as far as knowledge base goes, she kicks the shit out of me on that too.
She's good.
She is
man. Good. That's a real thing.
Yeah, there's a lot of professionals in our league, and then there's, I think, 50-50 professionals and people that wing it.
Yeah.
I like that.
That's probably about right.
That's good. Word. Well, I think that was a great cast. I don't know about you, buddy.
Yes. Yeah, I'm ready if you're ready.
I think we're gone about 2.5.
Yeah. So, when it comes to fantasy and everything, I think that it might be better if you're blind anyway, because it will heighten all of your other senses.
I don't follow. How am I supposed to see my app? I'm blind.